What is up, YouTube? It is Onion Bomb here. Welcome back to another death battle reaction video. The last one, I binged some death battles that seemed interesting to me and ones that weren't spoilers or wouldn't spoil anything to me. And it seemed to go over pretty well, so I decided to do another one, a follow-up. We're going to binge even more death battle videos, and there is a decent amount that I can still watch here. Like I stated, if you missed the first video, feel free to check that one out. But if you did miss it, I can't really watch every death battle because I'm not familiar with every franchise they cover, and some I do want to watch, you know, and learn the stuff like through my own ways of actually watching the show and not just, you know, like spoil everything through death battles. But the franchises I am familiar with, or at least familiar enough with, I will peep here. There is some more that I can watch. There are even some that I thought maybe I could have watched, but it turns out I can't quite yet. But there are some definitely that can still be watched today. I'm going to be watching. We're going back to some older ones again. For the first one here, we have two fighting games. One that I actually am a decent fan of, kind of. Yeah, one I don't really know too much about, but it's very popular. It is Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. We got Ryu? Is that how you say that? Ryu versus, they'll say it and I'll be corrected, but Ryu versus Scorpion. And yeah, I'm a little bit of a Mortal Kombat fan. I played it a bit. I'm not the biggest fighting game person. Mortal Kombat is probably my favorite one, but it's cool. I will definitely be rooting for Scorpion this one. I really do like Scorpion and Mortal Kombat. Who do I think is gonna win? I'm also gonna say Scorpion wins. Street Fighter seems pretty, you know, cool, but I don't know. Mortal Kombat and Scorpion seems like he's got, you know, like the ninja technique. He's got the power. He's got the get over here kind of thing. So yeah, let's peep this one for the first death battle of today. Oh, once again, the list of the ones I will watch today will be in the description. If you want to be surprised to see which ones come next, then don't peep it. But if you want to know which ones I'm watching today, that list is in the description. So yeah.
Two marquee warriors, arcade rivals since the 90s, now facing off for true superiority.
Ryu, the wandering world warrior.
And Scorpion, the ninja from hell.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Endlessly walking the earth and improving his fighting skill is the life of Ryu, the Japanese martial artist without a home.
Yeah, I didn't know Street Fighter had anime.
This karate hobo than meets the eye.
Interesting.
After being dumped on a doorstep by his douchebag parents, he was adopted by the mysterious Goken. From that moment on, Ryu dedicated his life to martial arts, probably on some sort of parental vengeance quest.
He trained
just like
alongside
spiders
his best
and
friend and
wearing
rival,
shoes.
Ken Masters. Goken taught them the Ansatsuken, or Assassin's Fist, fighting style. But the name is actually a bit misleading. While originally designed as a means to murder, Goken's personal take on the Ansatsuken is based around karate, kenpo, judo, and not killing people. Unlike the ways of his violent brother, Akuma, who ultimately would prove to be his undoing.
Oh yeah, he can finger paint. Well, the Assassin's Fist sure isn't your average McDojo style, because Ryu's Shoryuken is an uppercut so powerful, it launches his victim sky high. The Hadouken uses a fighter's willpower to fire a blast of energy and destroy evil things, like waterfalls.
And physics?
And finally, the Tatsumaki Zen...
Tatsumaki Senpukai.
I had it! Anyway, the thing that I totally know how to pronounce gives the finger to gravity and lets him briefly fly around like some sort of human helicopter kicking machine.
He also has a powerful step kick he calls the Judan Sokutageri.
Hey, we don't have the translation for that one. I'm on it. And diarrhea joke foot? What does it do? Kick people in the stomach so hard
What?
that it takes them to Brown Town?
That's
With
crazy.
the correct kanji, it's more like high-level leg blade kick.
Oh.
You know it's diarrhea kick forever in my mind now, right?
Diarrhea.
At the age of 23, Ryu entered the first World Warrior tournament to test his skills. He swept through 9 powerful combatants before taking on the champion,
Fought by
Sagat.
Mount Rushmore?
After a hard-fought battle, Sagat was set to take the win.
Until he made the mistake of being a good sport. After beating the shit out of Ryu, Sagat offered him a helping hand up. Instead of taking it, Ryu gave him a surprise punch so hard, it ripped his chest open and nearly killed the guy.
Oh.
Dick move, Ryu. Dick move.
This was Ryu's first taste of the dark power buried within him, the Satsui no Hado, literally the surge of murderous intent.
Still not as good a name as the diarrhea joke foot.
The Satsui no Hado gives Ryu incredible power, but at the expense of his humanity. He can tap a portion of this power to safely enhance his attacks. However, should his desire to win become so great he would even commit murder, the Satsui no Hado can overwhelm him and he will lose control, becoming Evil Ryu.
Now we're talking!
Evil Ryu has enormous power, to the point of being almost unstoppable. He can even blast a skyscraper to smithereens.
I was gonna say, so far, I was just thinking, so far, you know, I'm not... Some cool things, the Hadouken, I actually not sure if I knew that this guy was the one who used that. I've heard of like a Hadouken, but I'm not sure if I knew that this was where it was from. But I was gonna say, so far, it's not looking like, from at least what I remember of Mortal Kombat, like, I think Scorpion's got this, but with this evil thing, well, we'll see what they got for Scorpion, but this evil thing might do it for him, possibly. I don't know.
For short distances, even passing through attacks along the way. More impressively, despite Goken never teaching him this, Evil Ryu can use the Ansatsuken's forbidden technique, the Shun Goku Satsu, more commonly known as the Raging Demon.
With this, Evil Ryu turns his foes' own sins against them and eradicates their soul. It was this exact attack which Akuma, a master of the Dark Hado, used to murder Ryu's master. Since then, Akuma has been haunting Ryu, tempting him to succumb and fully commit to the Dark Satsui no Hado as well. Basically, this is karate Star Wars.
Oh, you call everything Star Wars.
Well, some even speculate that Akuma is Ryu's father.
Mother of God. It is karate Star Wars.
But Goken's teachings instilled a powerful belief in Ryu. If he can resist and shun this dark temptation, he can attain an even greater power.
By detaching himself from all emotion, he enters an alternate state of consciousness.
Like a Jedi.
This boosts his speed, power, and can do all sorts of crazy shit to his abilities.
This is the power of nothingness.
Stupid name.
The power of nothingness is more focused than the Dark Hado, allowing Ryu complete control over his mind and body. Goken even once used this power to separate himself from his soul in order to survive Akuma's raging demon. Surprise, Obi-Wan is still alive.
Ryu is skilled enough to take on numerous thugs at once, tough enough to survive being impaled, and strong enough to overpower the genetically created Super Warrior Seth. Oh, and he's fast enough to dodge point-blank gunfire.
Yet as Evil Ryu, his aura is so strong he can just walk through bullets.
That said, being the Street Fighter poster boy doesn't mean he's the top world warrior. He's lost a number of matches fair and square against the likes of M. Bison, Oro, and even his best friend Ken.
However, many of these losses may stem from his struggle to contain the power of the Dark Satsui no Hado, which is obviously quite difficult to do in the middle of battle.
But when Ryu unleashes his full potential, stay the fuck out of his way!
My name is Ryu, and the ultimate power has awakened within me.
Okay, so that at the end there, they say him struggling against the power, to contain the power, and how he's lost some fights. So I'm gonna see what they say about Scorpion. See if I change the
From
pick.
Earthrealm to
I
Outworld,
might.
there were few who didn't fear the ruthless clan known as the Ling Kuei.
Except the Shirai Ryu, a clan with some serious balls. Not only did they defect from the Lin Kuei, they mocked them on a daily basis by wearing obvious palette swaps of their clothes. They also like to pull classic pranks like annoying phone calls, TPing Lin Kuei homes, and constantly slaughtering their loved ones.
Constant, bruh.
Got him. From the Shirai Ryu came Hanzo Hazashi, the hellish ninja of vengeance. But before he became the stuff of nightmares, he was once an ordinary young child, whose father just happened to be a deadly assassin. In hopes of sparing him from a violent life of regret and murder, Hanzo's father forbade him from ever joining the clan.
Sorry, son. You're not allowed to be awesome.
However, as time went on, Hanzo became desperate. He needed a way to support not only himself, but also his wife and son. Faced with few other options, he reluctantly disobeyed his father and began the life of a ninja assassin.
As a ninja, Hanzo is exceptionally skilled in ninjutsu, paigua, hapkido, and numerous secret Chinese martial arts. But it's his weapon of choice that earned him the nickname Scorpion.
Hey, oh.
While his kunai on a rope is iconic and deadly, I'm more partial to whatever the hell that snake creature is that lives in his hand. Well, in whatever form, it impales the opponent and pulls him in close, usually for a sweet uppercut to the jaw.
This is similar to an ancient assassination weapon used in the Tang Dynasty called the rope dart. It's extremely difficult to master, making Scorpion's finesse all the more impressive.
He's also proficient with several weapons like long swords, twin katanas, and axes.
Scorpion's weaponry and combat prowess were put to the ultimate test by the legendary Lin Kuei warrior, Bi-Han, aka
Sub-Zero.
And things didn't go so well for our yellow-clad ninja. Next thing he knew, Scorpion was waking up in the Netherrealm.
More commonly known as Hell. Bet you wish you listened to Dad now. Then maybe you could have ended up in a happier place with your murdered wife and kid. Oh yeah, they're dead too.
Enraged at Sub-Zero for apparently killing all whom he'd sworn to protect, Scorpion scored a second chance by striking a deal with the sorcerer Quan Chi. In exchange for his loyalty, Scorpion was resurrected as a phantom of the Netherrealm.
And being reborn as a demon of vengeance has its perks. Scorpion can now teleport, summon fire at will, and create portals in and out of the Netherrealm he was spawned from, literally dragging others to hell. Whilst there, his plus ones can enjoy such tourist locations as Lava Pit, and witness the corpse burning celebration called the Festival of Torture. Fun times!
The Netherrealm is the source of Scorpion's demonic power, and his strength rises simply by his being there.
Scorpion is so vicious he can perform no fewer than 13 different fatalities.
He can rip a person's head from their body, spine included.
That's not something you just do.
Toasty,
That's
I mean,
art right there.
the toasty.
Rip off his mask to show his true face.
Ah, what the fuck is that thing?
And score a kill by transforming into a, well, giant scorpion, of course. Or a penguin.
Wait, what?
And although Scorpion was far from the most powerful combatant in the Mortal Kombat tournament, he has defeated lethal warriors across multiple worlds. He's conquered sorcerers, demons, cyborgs, and eventually avenged his death by incinerating Bi-Han in the Netherrealm.
But it turns out that Sub-Zero guy was kind of innocent. The man actually responsible for the death of his family was Quan Chi. You know, that guy he swore himself to and has been working for this whole time? Man, Scorpion's kind of like the Charlie Brown of Mortal Kombat.
As penance for his
crazy.
mistake, Scorpion
But yeah,
dedicated
crazy.
his life
That's
after
what.
death to
That's what kind of got me into Mortal Kombat a few years ago, when I was kind of learning a few years ago. It's almost like 10 now, but the way time's going. But that this lore with Scorpion and Sub-Zero was like so like interesting to me. Because I didn't really like fighting games, as I keep saying, but that's what really like pulled me into Mortal Kombat over like, you know, Street Fighter or Killer Instinct or anything. I did play a little bit of Soul Calibur, but that was because I like one time played it at like an arcade game at like some like furniture place, and then like the fourth one included Star Wars characters, so that's what brought me to Soul Calibur a little bit. But when it's like just straight up a fighting game, usually it doesn't like entice me. So Mortal Kombat is special in that regard, and I do really like Sub-Zero. I think he's my favorite character. That's not like a bold take as Scorpion Sub-Zero, probably the most popular ones. I do know that there is a Sub-Zero death battle. I believe that's one that we might check out at some point in this video. We will see though.
Protecting the late Sub-Zero's younger brother, Sub-Zero.
Though he still found time for shooting threes, hitting homers, and hosting his own cooking show.
This week on Cooking with Scorpion, learn about chopping,
Yeah, I'm not gonna trust anything that guy makes.
cake decorating,
Does he even eat anymore?
Aside from his weakness for the culinary arts, Scorpion's win-loss record is not as intimidating as you might think. But consider the outrageous scope of his competition.
Any way you look at it, it's tough to be much more of a badass than a fire-breathing skeleton ninja from hell.
I am Scorpion. Vengeance will be mine.
Alright. I'm less confident going into this, but I'm going to stick with Scorpion winning this. I still think I'm going to root for Scorpion, definitely. I think Scorpion's going to win this. The Dark Ryu scares me a bit, and his hidden powers, that spooks me a bit. That might be able to do it, but if he can't control it, maybe. I don't know. I'm feeling Scorpion.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, want to win the original script for this episode, signed by Wiz and myself?
Use the widget link
Oh,
below
yeah.
to choose the fighter you think will prevail, and you'll
Oh, let me do
automatically
that.
be entered to win.
You think that's still going on, 10 years? 10 years in the future?
And now it's time for a death battle!
Alright, let's see.
Get over here. Can't fool me. Come on. Fight. Come here. Hadouken.
Ooh, that... Oh, okay, we got a sword. Go. Dang. Oh. He didn't get him with one get over here, and he tried twice, so
Can you stand up after that?
I don't know.
I'll finish this.
Ooh.
You will join me in hell.
Oh yeah. Go to the nether realm. This might do it. Honestly, this might do it. Giving himself home field advantage in one such as this, being undead.
This is some fight.
Let's go, Scorpion. Ooh.
Neither of us have reached our full potential.
As if that matters.
It's not over. Surprised? I'll show you what I'm made of. Don't expect mercy.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh, we get out. It's not done. Oh yeah. Toasty! Oh. He missed the toasty. Oh. Now we got him with the. Oh, there we go. He's in with. Ooh. The combo. Ooh. The bun mash. Ooh. Oh. Ooh.
Concentrate. I will not succumb to evil.
Oh no, this is the absolute nothingness.
I walk the path of the true world. This is the power of mankind.
Toasty.
I walk a path with no end.
He's not there. Yes.
Crush our foes!
Toasty.
KO!
Yeah.
Yes, but that looks a
The
bit
penguin.
overcooked.
Ryu's Satsui no Hado and the Power of Nothingness were incredibly powerful, but raw power alone is not enough to destroy Scorpion.
Yet Scorpion's advantage of already being dead didn't make this a cakewalk. In fact, Ryu had the perfect way to permanently end Scorpion.
If Ryu did win that, how is he gonna get back out of hell without Scorpion?
The soul-killing raging demon. But he can avoid the instant murder move thanks to his awesome ninja skills and teleportation.
Not to mention Ryu has very little experience actually using the Raging Demon anyway. But most importantly, Scorpion's strength increases the longer he remains in the Netherrealm, with no defined limit. Once trapped in hell with Scorpion, Ryu stood little chance in the long run.
Zero chance if Scorpion just up and teleported him into a pool of lava, which he could totally do. Scorpion was just too hot to handle.
The winner is Scorpion.
Scorpion, let's go! Alright. 1-1 now. Or 1-0. Of either, well, 1 for 1 and getting who I want to win and who I think I win. Jeez. 0 for 1 in speaking English. Alright, so this next one is actually kind of similar vibes to one I watched in the first episode. By the way, I wonder how that last one over. I feel like Street Fighter fans are probably not too happy with that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if there's beef between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter fans. Like I feel like some of the DC versus Marvel ones, I feel like there could be like a turf war there. Maybe, I don't know. But this next one, speaking of turf war, maybe, is continuing the Nintendo versus Sega saga. We had Mario versus Sonic. We had Luigi versus Tails. Now, for part 3 of this, we have Donkey Kong versus Knuckles. And, one thing about Donkey Kong, I haven't played too many Mario games at all. Ever. Not like the straight up Mario games, never played, at least currently. Never really played Sonic games either, but I've seen Sonic media now. But I've played Mario Kart Double Dash and Mario Party with a group of friends one time, and especially in Double Dash, Donkey Kong would always get on my nerves. I don't know, that guy would always piss me off. The Donkey Kong AI always hated me. So I am definitely rooting for Knuckles in this one. Might not be the biggest fan of Donkey Kong, and I kind of like Knuckles in some, I've seen like the Sonic Boom Knuckles in memes. It's kind of funny. Maybe out of character, but funny. And just the like Knuckles in general is a cool character. So I'm gonna go Knuckles, and I'm going to say Knuckles wins it too. Like Donkey Kong, he has the barrels, but I feel like Knuckles has some more to him. So give me Knuckles over Donkey Kong for both who I think is gonna win and who I wanna win. Let's go.
Guardians of treasure, champions of justice.
And prove that if you've got enough brute strength, you don't need to be smart to kick some serious ass.
So they're
Donkey
both pretty
Kong,
strong.
defender of the world's largest banana horde.
And Knuckles the Echidna, guardian of the all-powerful Master Emerald.
We've already established that Mario and Sonic-related power-ups counter each other. For example, DK's Strong Kong could counter Hyper Knuckles, so for this fight we'll be sticking to the bare essentials.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The ones that shall keep it may prosper.
But the ones who touch Donkey Kong's banana horde must die. See, I know literature. Well, the parts about killing, anyway.
Long ago, an illegal pet gorilla famously did battle with his abusive owner atop a construction site.
The ape's name was Donkey Kong, and the conflict didn't go so well for him.
After escaping, he fled to a remote island with his son, also named Donkey Kong. His son would later bear a child destined to rule the island. This powerful ape was named You guessed it, Donkey Kong.
Being a gorilla, Donkey Kong naturally loves bananas.
No. Real gorillas primarily eat plants, like stems and bamboo shoots, and sometimes termites to fight diarrhea.
Too much info, Wiz. Well, this gorilla loves bananas so much that he's hoarded hundreds for himself. And if someone tries to take away any of his delicious golden treasures, may God help them.
And yet his enemies have been bold enough to steal his entire stockpile several times, right out from under his nose. That's what happens when you hog every banana on the island to yourself. Just basic supply and demand.
Donkey Kong weighs 800 pounds and stands about 8 feet tall. That's almost twice as big as a normal gorilla.
Dang.
He spends his afternoons as if he were a Florida native by finding ways to kill
Definitely has a height
crocodiles,
advantage, I
such as
think.
crushing them with his sheer weight, chucking barrels at them like his old man, or just straight up punching them to death.
The strength this ape wields is so tremendous, his very palms can shake the earth. And his trademark giant punch can send his victims flying beyond the horizon.
But just because he's strong doesn't mean he's slow. He can unleash a flurry of blows so fast he ignites the hydrogen in the air, creating explosions!
This is similar to a meteor catching fire while falling through the atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour.
I'm telling you, Wiz, it's only a matter of time before the apes take over.
While common gorillas have impressed the scientific community by using basic tools, Donkey Kong is a little beyond that.
Yeah, he's got a shotgun. Like, I know it looks like he's just carrying around a log, but no, seriously, it's a boomstick that Funky Kong somehow made out of a tree that fires concussive homing coconuts.
It can fire in spurts.
Really?
And if he shoots you,
He's
it's
got
gonna
a
hurt.
coconut
At least that's what the DK rap tells us. But what it doesn't tell us is that the series of grunts you hear from the Kongs is actually them speaking their own language.
Really? I wonder what he's saying.
Banana Slammer! Banana Slammer! Banana Slammer! Banana Slammer! Banana Slammer! Banana Slammer!
Mostly just that. Sometimes he sings too.
From on top of the white mountains, your glory rises high to the sky.
What the hell? Okay, I know I watched some of this show, but I do not remember there being any musical numbers, like at all.
Oh, there were 2 in every episode. 40 episodes in all. Your brain likely
Really?
shut down while watching to protect your fragile consciousness.
I'd shower you with coconut cream pie.
Yo, I've never seen
Good
this
one,
show.
Brain. I owe you a
Oh,
beer.
what
Donkey
is
Kong
this?
has done some ridiculous things. With a clap of his hands, he can create a shockwave strong enough to shatter meteors. Also, I exaggerate nothing when I say he ate an entire plantation of bananas in a single afternoon.
He's agile enough to dodge arrows on a narrow ledge and tough enough to survive point-blank explosions. Multiple times.
But most impressively, after surviving an explosion that launched him into orbit, he used a fully charged giant punch to send a moon careening into the planet.
He apparently expands his power by using both his bananas and his body hair, like a monkey Burt Reynolds. If he gets a haircut, though, he loses his power and looks really weird.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Well,
so if Knuckles
perhaps DK's
gets a
cranial
shave,
deformity is linked to his greatest
Well, we know that
weakness.
information.
You see, Donkey Kong is kind of an idiot.
We're talking about an ape who didn't realize he was following his own treasure map until after he found the bananas it led to.
Or while suffering from amnesia, a pirate crocodile was able to convince him that he was a crocodile through song and dance. Donkey Kong
So
joined in.
I don't know what kind of version of Knuckles. Well, I seen Sonic X. Knuckles was kind of dumb too. If they use Boom Knuckles, I feel like there's definitely a dumbness there. But in Sonic X, there's like, I don't know, he just kept trusting Eggman. It seemed like he kept like giving it. That got to me after a while. But there might be a smarts advantage for Knuckles. Maybe, I'm not really
And
sure.
singing about physical features he clearly does not possess.
He's also just as lazy as he is stupid. One time, he and Diddy were making a killing selling
him
frozen
and who?
coconuts and could have had all the bananas they ever wanted. But the simple task of just cracking coconuts open all day was too strenuous for the big ape. so he sold the business for a couple measly bananas.
Bananas are the only motivator that seem to work on DK, but they're also the only one he needs to bring out the big guns.
If something separates him from his precious fruit stockpile, someone is going to die.
Nothing's stopping me this time.
Not a duel. You're gonna stop because that's what you do when you're faced with an irresistible force.
Alright. Definitely a little stronger than I anticipated. There may be a chance, and maybe a chance he gets this, but I also thought, Tails and Sonic both beat their opponents. Is Nintendo really gonna get 3-0'd? I feel like they'd sue if they were. I'm kidding. Well, not really, but
4,000 years ago, the Echidna race thrived due to their advanced technology and talent for warfare.
Now that's what I call a pet. I know what I'm picking
Like
up at
that?
the pet store on the way home.
Just a heads up, the males have 4 heads on their penises.
What?
what?
Awesome.
Desperate for the
What?
power to command the world, the Knuckles tribe staged a raid to obtain the legendary power of the Master Emerald.
What they didn't know was that it was protected by a giant murderous water dragon with tentacles named Chaos. And it just killed the shit out of them.
Miraculously, a young Echidna girl survived and managed to seal Chaos inside the Master Emerald. The resulting energy output ripped
So it
the
looks like
Echidna's
Sonic
home
X
into the
Knuckles is
sky
what we're
to
going
become Angel Island, perpetually floating so long as the Emerald remained in its shrine. Sonic lore, everybody.
Centuries later,
With
one
the
final
Knuckles,
descendant of the Knuckles clan remained, and his name was...
John
Knuckles.
Cena.
So not the most creative parenting in the world, but hey, Knuckles is the lone guardian of the Master Emerald, dedicating his entire life to protecting the family jewel. But he spends most of his days sleeping and doing nothing, because really, who's gonna fly all the way up to a tiny floating island just to steal a rock?
Why, the nefarious Dr. Eggman, of course. As a ploy, Eggman convinced Knuckles that a certain blue hedgehog and a fox with 2 tails planned to steal the Master Emerald. Knuckles left to stop the thieves, and Eggman swiped the gem for himself.
Not the sharpest head on the dick, is he?
Without its energy source, Angel Island plummeted out of the sky. Until Sonic the Hedgehog literally beat the sense into Knuckles, and together they saved the day, forming a tense bromance.
Sounds like you've got an inferiority complex.
Huh? I have a what?
Oh, nothing. Never mind, Knuckles.
Since then, Knux has continued to try to guard the Emerald. However, most people who try to steal it do. But luckily for old Brad Red, he can track the Master Emerald using his treasure hunting skills.
And his special bond with the gem, which allows him to detect its presence and harness some of its power, which he can focus through the ancient martial art passed down through the Knuckles clan.
The ancient art? I'll punch the crap out of everything. No, really, that's the answer to every single problem Knuckles has. Something in the way? Punch it. Need to climb a cliff? Punch it. Falling down a trap? Punch it. Punching not working for some reason? You f***ing know he punches it more.
Punch him.
You're taking this breaking and entering business way too literally.
Speaking of which, Knuckles can throw punches so extreme they create explosions by igniting hydrogen in the air.
Sounds familiar?
Knuckles is fast, capable of running at least 100 miles per hour. He can also take to the sky and glide, reportedly by trapping air underneath his dreadlocks. Although there's no logical way those locks are aerodynamic enough to keep him airborne.
Hey, it's better than a tanuki flying with its nutsack. Then again, he could be twirling his dick.
And with the spikes on
What?
his fists, Knuckles can
Oh, yeah.
effortlessly dig through dirt and rock. Add on his attachable shovel claws, and he can even tunnel through solid metal.
With arms that stringy, it makes you wonder where all this strength comes from.
Well, his connection with the Master Emerald is responsible for much of his more absurd attributes, like gliding and punching explosions.
Knux can shatter boulders, dodge machine guns, ride atop flying jets and missiles like skateboards. Oh, and he can breathe in space.
He's matched and even trumps Sonic in battle, runs fast enough to cut holes in the ground, is strong enough to uproot massive trees.
Hell, he's strong enough to throw this.
With a single punch, he can trigger a volcanic eruption. Doing so requires displacing pressure in a volcano's magma chamber. At minimum, this can sit around 3,280
both these guys are
people, 1
very,
kilometer
very
below
strong.
the Earth's surface. Knuckles had to have punched the ground with at least 3.9 megatons of force.
Damn.
Over 3 times more powerful
little
than the
bit of
highest
booty.
yield bomb in the known US nuclear stockpile.
That's cute. How about the time he punched the moon? One day, Eggman blew up half the moon and rebuilt it into a robot moon because, well, he gets off on that shit.
Via remote control, Eggman actually changed the moon's orbit to create a never-ending eclipse.
But never fear, Knuckles just dove out into outer space and punched the remote control into dust, causing an explosion visible from Earth.
And returning the moon to its normal orbit.
But having these abilities isn't enough to let him win every time, especially when his biggest obstacle is his own brain.
Knuckles is illiterate, doesn't know left from right, and one time didn't realize until too late that he was eating a napkin.
Hey, give credit where it's due, Wiz.
So
When he
he
did
is.
figure it
He's
out, he
the-
stuck to his guns and finished every bite of that damn
So he's not,
napkin.
he might not have the
Dinner
smarts
and
either.
cleanup at the same
So it's a
time.
matchup, the
He hardly
matchup.
ever
I was wrong.
strategizes
I was
before
wrong.
combat, preferring to run in swinging.
Hey, whatever works.
It doesn't. Well,
I mean, I
not
knew he was
a ton.
no
And
Einstein,
despite
but
being mortal enemies,
thought
Dr.
maybe he'd
Eggman
be a
has
little
duped
swing.
Knuckles into allying with him on multiple occasions.
multiple
It's happened
occasions.
so often by now, you have to wonder whose side he's really on.
Hey,
Exactly,
Can blow
thank
the top
you.
off a volcano, so why waste precious time on things like reasoning?
Yes, you do.
What a dreamboat!
I want to be just like you when I grow up.
Knuckles, you've been elected governor!
All in a day's work. Hey, that's not how it... Shh.
Alright, so Donkey Kong, Knuckles, this feels very similar to the other two, the Sonic and Mario, the Tails and Luigi. I go in thinking like, you know, yeah, I think the Sonic character gets this, then the Mario character gets the limelight thing, like I'm a little spooked, and then the Sonic character, it's like, yeah, like it's debatable, but I go with the Sonic character. I did that both times and it worked out. I think Nintendo, unfortunately, is going to get 3-0'd here. I'm still going to say Knuckles wins this. And I will still be rooting.
All right,
For
the
Knuckles.
combatants are set. Let's
So I
end
like
this
him a little
debate
more
once
as a
and
character.
for all.
It's
This
time
is for the
a
double dash. Every time you
death
screw me over, double dash. Donkey Kong. Alright, let's go. Oh, is that the we're just gonna steal a banana? You just eat it peel and all? I guess he's the one.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh.
All right.
Oh, they're coming back.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
So, oh, no, that's a Knuckles sound effect. Interesting. I didn't know that. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh no. Oh no.
The volcano? Oh. I got the speed. Oh.
Not as strong as you thought you were.
Oh no.
Oh no. Flying card now. Ooh. Bruh. Bro. Oh, shoot. Nintendo did not get 3 of them. Oh. That's crazy. So Donkey Kong was slightly stronger.
Speed and agility, but his stubborn strategy of rushing in only played into Donkey Kong's favor by keeping close and in range.
Both were tough enough to survive atmospheric re-entry and the vacuum of space, but only Donkey Kong has also survived an explosion strong enough to launch him into orbit in the first place.
Knuckles and DK may have punched moons, but both feats are not precisely what they seem. The moon Donkey Kong punch belongs to the Mario universe, and is clearly smaller than our own moon. By comparing its size to that of Donkey Kong Island, we found this moon is approximately 2,775 feet in diameter and weighs 9.9 quadrillion tons. Knocking it out of orbit means DK punched it with a strike of over 3,000 megatons of force.
So not quite as impressive as punching our real moon, but hey, still way better than what Knuckles can do. Knuckles only destroyed a receiver controlling the moon's flight path.
And although the moon's orbit changed afterwards, it's unreasonable to say Knuckles is responsible. He has no other feat supporting this outlier, and the moon was previously established to move itself due to being part robot now. Sonic lore.
So they actually did. He actually did
when
punch
DK was just that much stronger and tough enough to take anything thrown at him. DK just wasn't a kidneying around.
The winner is Donkey Kong.
Alright, GG's. I mean, you gotta give them one, I guess, if Tails and Sonic are gonna win, but Donkey Kong didn't deserve that. How he treated me in Double Dash. Yeah, so that would be a 1-1 record of trying to guess these correctly. Alright, I guess to keep on theme here, we have one more kind of one of these for now. This one's a bit newer, and there are some older ones that I do want to check out, so we may get a little bit older after this, but not like the newest. This is still 6 years old, but we have a rematch. Mario versus Sonic, the rematch. The first one, of course, we have Sonic taking it. I don't know. I said for Master Chief and Doom, because I believe the first Master Chief versus Doom, they had Chief win. And they did a rematch. And I've heard that they did rematches and still had the same person win. But I don't know. I'm just not feeling that, right? I feel like if they're going to do a rematch like this, I think it could be maybe people complained or maybe they got something wrong and they're trying to redo it. So I'm going to say Mario wins this one. I'm not really necessarily rooting still, like, especially now, like, because Sonic already got AW, so it's alright if I'm not, like, that crazy if he gets another one, but I guess technically I'll root for Sonic, and but I think Mario's gonna win this one.
Their rivalry is legendary. Their fame, unmatched. This battle has gone on for nearly 3 decades, but today, it finally comes to an end.
Mario, Nintendo's whimsical Italian turtle crusher.
And Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega's specialist of speed.
Time to find out if Sega really does what Nintendo don't.
For this bout, we'll be using the same rules Deathbell has had for the past 3 years. Most importantly, the original video games will be our primary source for analysis.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Plumber, carpenter, doctor, Mario has worn many hats throughout his life, but he always does so as a hero.
Except for that time he tortured an animal, but no one really talks about that.
Born as one of the 7 star children possessing an extraordinary amount of power,
And extra horrible crying fits.
Mario was assuredly destined for greatness.
Then him and his little bro Luigi wound up in New Donk City, where he spent his days throwing shit at monkeys and, fixing toilets. Not exactly the great heroic destiny I was expecting, but hey, at least his girlfriend was smoking.
But everything changed after a chance meeting with Princess Peach Toadstool. Her Mushroom Kingdom had been conquered by Bowser, the tyrannical king of the Koopas, and her only hope of rescue lay in the hands of the Mario Brothers.
And Mario had all the power he needed to take the Turtle Terror down. He's super tough, super quick, and really, really strong. He can jump several times his own height, smash tanks to bits with his butt, and toss Bowser around as if he's a featherweight.
So long, Bowser.
Needless to say, the Mushroom Kingdom was in good hands.
So was the princess. She even gave Mario a piece of her cake. If you know what I'm saying. Get in there, buddy. You deserve it all. Oh, come on. It's an actual cake. That's good too, I guess.
And if his strength doesn't cut it, Mario has plenty of extra weapons and powers on hand.
He can already shatter brick with his bare fists, but when he needs the power to break down the toughest walls, he busts out the Ultra Hammer. Sounds like a wrestling move Lou Albano would have used back in the day. Rest in peace, Captain.
Forged by 2 master blacksmiths, the Ultra Hammer, combined with Mario's mighty swing, can break through practically any material.
And he's got a ton of awesome power-ups, like that spicy fire flower.
Actually, while Mario used to need this flower, he has since learned how to use pyrokinesis without it.
Well, the ice flower lets him freeze enemies. The Lucky Bell turns him into a
So
kitty
many
cat,
more
and
games
the
came
Super
out, he got
Mushroom
more
gives
stuff.
him a power boost and increases his size. I bet the princess likes that one.
With his frog suit, his swimming ability increases dramatically. With the Double Cherry, he can create clones of himself with no power decrease. With the stopwatch, he can freeze time. With the Cape Feather or the Wing Cap, he can soar to new heights. And with the Starman or Rainbow Star, he becomes
Once
totally
again, I've never
invincible.
played any of these Mario games, so I don't know what kind of gets released when.
For a short time.
And with the
course I know
gold
which ones are
flower, he
older.
never has to work another day in his life, because he's got an infinite
add
supply
stuff.
of money. Made of people.
While he can carry several power-ups at once, Mario doesn't always need them to prove his potential.
He's quick enough to maneuver when transformed into a bolt of lightning, and skilled enough to pilot the Star Diver as it rockets through the atmosphere. He's so friggin' manly, he took an explosion to the face that wrecked an entire castle. And even better, he was standing in the middle of this.
Based on a standard tennis court's measurements, we can determine the blast of this fireball covered a radius of over 2,000 feet. To reach this distance, the blast must have had an explosive yield of over 2.4 megatons.
Dang.
So what you're saying is Mario could totally play tennis with a nuclear warhead for a ball and be totally fine.
Probably. Also, he can throw a baseball so fast it overloaded this speed gun, implying it was launched over 999 miles per hour. In the Mario World cartoon, he hurled a dinosaur out of orbit. Assuming this creature is of similar size and weight to a Tyrannosaurus
Dang.
Rex, this feat would require a force of over 135 tons of TNT.
Wait, Wiz, I thought you said we're only using the game.
Any official
Just,
material counts so long as it's supported by the games, otherwise we'd be ignoring a huge majority of the character's history. Take a look at this chain chomp. It's actually made up of solid gold. Gold is ridiculously heavy. While 1 cubic foot of iron weighs 491 pounds, a cubic foot of gold is over 1,200 pounds. Luckily, a chain chomp is a perfect sphere, so we can compare it to Mario's height to find that it weighs nearly 6,000 tons.
Wait, did he just leave it in that hole? Cash it in, Mario! That thing's worth $366 billion!
That's actually correct.
Well, yeah, that guy on TV who always wants my gold told me.
This isn't even Mario's most impressive feat. At one point, he lifted an entire fortress and punted it through the air.
He does the same thing in the manga, and it's pretty on par with the strength he's shown against Bowser, who's survived collapsing castles multiple times.
Since this presentation makes the castle's size difficult to determine, we measured the entire interior based on maps from the game. By scaling these measurements to the castle's smaller avatar, and conservatively assuming a limestone composition, we've determined the castle must weigh more than 61 million tons.
and he just kicked it away like it was a freaking soccer ball.
Given the distance it was kicked, Mario must have exerted a
That's
force of
crazy.
around 3.5 megatons of TNT.
Maybe
Do you
they,
realize what this means?
Mario's a bit
Mario's
stronger.
foot is 231 times more powerful than the atomic bomb that dropped on Hiroshima.
Now seems like a good time for a beer. Or 12.
Honestly, Mario's absurd strength shouldn't be as surprising as you'd think. While he's fairly naive and not much of a strategist, he's saved the Mushroom Kingdom from Bowser's clawed grip time and time again. And the Koopa King is tough enough to survive a dip in the sun, or even a black hole.
Don't underestimate Nintendo's powerful plumber.
Here we go!
Alright, yeah, I feel like that they explored some new stuff in that one. Definitely, a little bit confident in picking Mario now. We'll see if there's anything new.
Somewhere out there, on a strange alternate version of Earth, humans coexist with anthropomorphic animals. But this world has been assailed over and over by the vile Dr. Ivo Robotnik, otherwise known as Eggman.
Why the heck does he need such a dumb alias when he's already got a name as cool sounding as Robotnik?
But hope persisted. Whenever the Eggman hatched a scheme, one did not have to wait long for a certain blue streak to speed by. This was Sonic the Hedgehog.
He's the fastest thing alive!
He's the fastest thing alive!
While Sonic has a superhuman physique overall, speed is his speciality. In fact, superhuman speed is a natural trait for the anthropomorphic hedgehog, though Sonic's abilities are far superior to his kin.
Wait a minute, all hedgehogs have super speed? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, real hedgehogs are also nocturnal, not blue, and when they try to make friends with foxes, they get eaten. So I don't think Sega cares.
Alright then, to stop Eggman from turning all his animal pals into batteries, Sonic cranked up that speed and weaponized it. He can crush his enemies with the spin attack, strike multiple times with the homing attack, go 0 to Sonic Boom instantly with the super peel out, and plow through hordes of badniks with the spin dash. Holy crap! I think this guy would just vomit all the time.
He's also used a number of power-ups throughout his adventures, including elemental shields. The Aqua Shield is especially useful as it grants him an incredibly high bouncing jump and protection against his greatest nemesis.
Robotnik?
No, water.
Seriously, Sonic, buddy, learn to swim already and save our ears from that nightmare music.
The blue hedgehog can also gain abilities from small alien beings.
That music is kind of.
They can turn him into a fireball,
creepy.
a yellow
I see
drill,
how,
a black hole, a bunch of stuff, really.
used it.
Even a demonic hungry hippo.
But before we delve any further, there is something vital which we need to discuss. It's time to figure out Sonic's speed.
Oh boy, here we go.
While he has boasted that he is faster than light, Sonic has yet to prove this in canon without the aid of additional equipment or power-ups.
Oh yeah, like when he connects to a trail of rings. But you can't take his bragging too seriously. He's still got some of that radical 90s attitude.
I'm out of here.
The highest official description of Sonic's speed labels him as hypersonic, or somewhere between Mach 5 and Mach 10. This actually isn't too far-fetched. The game's Sonic Unleashed records his speed, and he can reach a maximum around 3,500, SPD.
Sonic, he's got an STD. Sonic, it burns when he pees.
Assuming SPD translates to metric meters, given the game's Japanese development, that puts Sonic's top speed over 7,872 miles per hour. Over 10 times the speed of sound, and just over the official hypersonic description.
So, is that it?
Well, it's possible, no, likely, that he's faster. In TV shows closely tied to the games, Sonic has dodged meteors, did this with a 10,000 frame per second camera, and even outran lightning. All of which implies that he can move and react around 200 to 300 times the speed of sound.
How about that one time he caught up to a cyan wisp? He said that thing's almost as...
Look, I know they're saying it helps the games and whatnot, but it is funny that they said we're only checking the games, and now for both Mario and Sonic, there's something that an example from a show thing they're using it. I get, it's they're helping, it's helping explain the games, I guess. Is the right wording for it, but I feel like that's still taking into account not just the game.
Fast as him, even without its laser mode.
That's right, the laser is a power it grants Sonic, not itself. Still, wisps are incredibly fast. At one point, a group of them flew from Earth's surface to a black hole in orbit in the 20-second Sonic and Tails were talking. By measuring the planet's curve here, we can find that the Wisp aliens must have been moving around Mach 200. As Sonic is faster than them, this supports his cartoon feats.
Why isn't that black hole sucking up the Earth? That's what they do, right?
It's more like a pseudo-black hole fueled by hyper-go-on energy.
Yeah! If I didn't know better, I'd swear you just made those words up.
Its presence near Sonic does emulate that of a singularity, and Sonic actually outran its pull for 30 seconds. Due to chaotic accretion, black holes pull non-orbiting mass inward at 30% the speed of light. Sonic's clearly pushing his running speed to its limit here, or else the black hole wouldn't have pulled him in. With this in mind, it's entirely possible that, without additional support, Sonic's maximum possible running speed must be around 200 million miles per hour.
That's insane! The fastest man-made object in real life was the New Horizons space probe, which took off at more than 36,000 miles per hour.
It took 9 years for this probe to reach Pluto, but with Sonic's speed, he could make this same trip to Pluto in less than 24 hours.
While we're tracking speed, I've always wondered how fast I can chug a beer. Start the clock, Wiz!
Are you gonna start?
I'm already done.
Moving on, even with this unbelievable speed, Sonic has far more power hidden up his sleeves.
He doesn't wear a shirt.
He can achieve the form of Super Sonic by absorbing an enormous amount of positive energy from the 7 legendary Chaos Emeralds. In this mode, he can teleport large objects, survive planet-level explosions, launch energy attacks, and fly near the speed of light.
But guess what? This isn't even his final form.
After the Emeralds received a boost from the Master Emerald, Sonic could achieve his ultimate state of being, Hypersonic.
He's got all the abilities of Super Sonic, plus total invincibility, and a Hyper Blast that insta-kills everything around him. Oh, and he's definitely faster than light now.
Unfortunately, good things don't last forever. Without a steady supply of rings, these super forms can't even stick around for a full minute.
Sonic has resisted mind control from the Overmind, survived re-entry from orbit, and blasted apart a mountain. This would need more than 200 tons of TNT to pull off. And while fighting his evil Robocopy Metal Sonic, they shattered this enormous stalactite. Holy shit, just look at the size of it!
By comparing it to the buildings in this city and applying the density of granite, the most common rock in continental crust, we found that this stalactite must weigh almost 47 million tons, which means a break like this would need a force of almost 200 kilotons of TNT.
Damn! He's definitely got what it takes to save the world from a madman scientist, even if he is kind of a dick.
Well, Sonic may be a bit arrogant, and he's certainly a thrill seeker, but at his best, he's the definition of honest and heroic. He's used his powers to defeat Eggman time and time again, even against gigantic death machines and cataclysmic events.
Those cute and cuddly forest critters can rest easy when Sonic's gotta go fast.
I'll show you how outclassed you really are.
I'm in a class all my own. Time to put up or shut up, Infinite.
Alright,
Alright, Mario, Sonic, definitely some good stuff. I am sticking with the prediction. I think they have Mario win this time. Not just for like the fact that this is a rematch, but it just seems like they added a bit more stuff to Mario and like just kind of really like dove deeper into like true lore. It's similar to I think what happened with Doom and Chief. They didn't have like the all the crazy lore bits in like the first one, and kind of maybe just switching up a bit. Sonic though, I had Hypersonic, and I think that might be still doesn't last forever. They could have Sonic win this twice, but I feel like, I don't know, Mario seems stronger after what I just, in this video, it seems like they had Mario stronger. So, we're going to see, but I'm going to stick with Mario.
Combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, all this talk of Eggman's got me hungry for Blue Apron.
By now, you've probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading meal kit delivery service in the U.S.
But did you know about all the different kinds of delicious foods you can make? Like the honey chipotle glazed chicken with poblano and lime rice.
There's plenty to choose from, since they offer 12 new recipes each week. All you have to do is choose the 2, 3, or 4 that sound best to you, and they deliver it right to your door.
Plus, it's super simple to cook. It's got easy-to-follow instructions and perfectly proportioned ingredients. They're non-GMO, and the meat has no added hormones. My favorite part is feeling like a master chef, making creative and delicious meals with my own hands. You guys really need to try it out.
It's pretty nice coming home knowing I'll have a delicious meal I can whip up with ease.
So check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free at blueapron.com/battle. That's blueapron.com/battle to get your first 3 meals free. But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Hello? That's a mine.
Finders keepers, pal.
Oh.
Whoa!
Oh.
You asked for it, Tubby. You're too slow. Come here.
Oh, water. They're
Oh,
using all
give
the
me a
power-ups
break.
this time. Oh, chaos emeralds.
Now I'll show you.
Him right out the suit. Oh, if he's holding Super Sonic like that, I'm pretty sure Mario has this. All this over a chair, by the way. Oh, they both ran out.
Oh, mamma mia.
Oh.
Woohoo! I'm the winner.
Yeah, Mario won that one.
Whoa! How did that happen? I know Nintendo won the console wars, but I really seem to remember Sonic having this one in the bag.
I'm sure Sonic could have won in specific circumstances, but more times than not, Mario takes the victory. Keep in mind this analysis was done with a focus on the games and their closely tied media, excluding alternate contrary sources like the Archie comics or the Mario Brothers movie, where Mario and Sonic are essentially entirely different characters from their gaming counterparts.
Okay, so
Sonic had
only
speed
excluding
in the
those
bag,
type of things.
obviously, but Mario was way too tough for him.
Their top strength feats paint this picture very, very clearly.
But I know what you're thinking. What good is Mario's strength if he couldn't even hit the blue blur? He's way too fast, right?
Yes and no. While Mario obviously couldn't match Sonic's relativistic top-running speeds, he's moved efficiently as a bolt of electricity and piloted the Star Diver. Based on our calculations, this puts him at the same level as Sonic's own reactionary feats. Since Mario was tough enough to tank almost anything Sonic could throw at him, it was only a matter of time before he tagged the blue blur with a deadly blow.
But what about chaos control? Couldn't Sonic just stop time and take care of things while...
It's heavily implied he knows how to, but Sonic has never actually used the time stop ability in canon. Even then, Mario's stopwatch does the same thing, putting them on equal footing.
Ah, don't do that! Where's my wallet?
Actually, most of Mario and Sonic's power-ups countered each other in this way. Mario even had plenty of options for defending against Sonic's invincible super forms. But Mario also had a much wider variety of power-ups, offering multiple ways to overpower Sonic. For example, he could have frozen Sonic solid, or even turned him into gold. His arsenal would always outlast Sonic's because he's been shown to carry more of them on his person.
Oh, God! Oh, I've seen things!
But even then, Mario's durability blew Sonic's out of the water. Even if we assume the 200 kiloton stalactite feat was entirely Sonic's doing, Mario survived an explosion that was 12 times more powerful. Simply put, Sonic didn't have a lot of viable options that could take Mario down for good.
I always knew Sonic was impressive, but Mario is just ridiculous. Probably that mustache.
Sonic was obviously incredibly fast, but he couldn't compete with Mario's superior strength, durability, and varied arsenal.
He got Mario'd.
After 100 episodes, you still can't think of a good pun?
No, but now they can see me do this. Ah, check it out, Wiz.
The winner is Mario.
Mario. Okay, so they had Mario win that one. Interesting. So yeah, that is what happened. You know, they went back on the result, and I guess did more research or more things came out or something like that. I guess Mario just had some more lore to him. Alright, this next one is a pretty interesting one to me. And it's one that I'm going to have I'd say significant horse in the race. It's an older one, again, going back to a 10-year-old one. But it's two that I actually have figures for. Two people I have, or monsters I have figures for. And we have... It is Godzilla versus Gamera. Now, I used to be a very, very big fan of Godzilla. Like the OG Japanese movie ones, like the newer movies. I'm a little bit behind. I haven't really checked all those out. But the OG ones from back in the day, I used to really like those and like figures and whatnot. Gamera, I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen a Gamera movie, or I've never really seen Gamera in action. But I do have this Gamera figure. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I have plenty of Godzilla figures. I started because I was a big fan of the game Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee and Godzilla Save the Earth, and then also Godzilla Unleashed later down the line. But those are some of my childhood games, still some of my favorite games of all time. Excuse me. So yeah, we're going to see which one of these two win in a death battle. I am definitely going to be rooting for Godzilla. I love Godzilla. Well, definitely a childhood thing. Still a kind of a fan of Godzilla, so definitely will root for Godzilla. Gamera. Yeah, like I said, even though I have this figure, I don't really know anything about Gamera, and I had never seen a Gamera movie. So we'll see. Maybe I'm sleeping, but I feel like Godzilla's got this.
Kaiju, the Japanese word for...
A giant monster that destroys everything around it, like Godzilla, the king of the monsters.
And Gamera, the guardian of the universe. Despite being box office rivals for half a century, these two enormous creatures have never met. Until today.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And
that's crazy.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The year was 1954, less than a decade after Little Boy and Fat Man had decimated Japan.
The nuclear age had begun.
As the United States tested their shiny new hydrogen bombs across the Pacific, one of them woke something up.
Godzilla, the radioactive, rampaging savior/destroyer of Japan.
Mutated by nuclear energy, Godzilla stands over 300 feet tall and weighs 90,000 tons. He is an unstoppable force of nature.
And for some reason, Godzilla has made Japan his personal playground and has been stomping through it for 60 years.
Couldn't he have picked on some other country?
Godzilla's radioactive mutation leaves everything in his wake contaminated. Water, plants, even people. Godzilla's presence alone turns a city block completely uninhabitable.
Like that noisy upstairs neighbor, or people who let their dog shit in your front lawn.
But Godzilla does not simply walk past his enemies to destroy them.
His strength is insane. He once lifted and threw his arch-rival Kaiser Ghidorah, who weighs 100,000 frickin' tons.
He channels this strength through his claws, teeth, tail,
and epic gravity-defying drop kicks.
Yeah, I love this clip. Oh.
Hilarious abilities aside, Godzilla would not be such a legendary kaiju without some serious firepower. He can emit atomic energy from his body for a short-range nuclear pulse.
Or fire his signature atomic breath, a goddamn laser beam of pure radiation. That's like microwaving at least 100 balls of tinfoil.
Well, give or take a few million.
The atomic breath can melt, burn, or blow up just about anything. And you know it just can't smell good. I mean, that's a lot of fish.
No. That right there is Zilla, the bastardized and shamed American version that Toho literally bought the rights to and completely rebranded just to murder on screen.
Take that, America.
And that was just the real Godzilla's standard atomic breath.
Yep, after absorbing a giant pterodactyl's soul, okay, he gained the power to boost his breath to the red spiral ray.
An attack so deadly, it only took a few blasts to obliterate the more powerful clone of himself, Space Godzilla.
What? Space Godzilla?
Yes, Space Godzilla's a thing. Moving on.
Godzilla's
cell structure can quickly regenerate from all manner of wounds. And despite being vulnerable to man-made electricity, he possesses magnetic properties. Like a lightning rod, he can attract thunderbolts from the sky and use nature's power to enhance his own abilities. Or turn himself into a giant living magnet.
Magnets? How do they even work? Well, believe it or not, that isn't the weirdest thing that Godzilla can do. If Big G needs to get somewhere quick, he bends over, charges up, and does this.
Bruh.
Well, at least Japan is creative?
Wait, can that even happen?
Scaling to the present, to actually lift his body means the atomic breath must have a force of over 328 trillion psi. That's the equivalent of 1 trillion riot control fire hoses, enough to wrap around the Earth 38,000 times.
Oh, the music too, for Godzilla's
Godzilla
sake.
has 44 known victories, largely due to his insane durability. He's fallen into a volcano, survived a black hole, and tanked a meteorite point blank without a scratch.
But despite popular belief, Godzilla is not invincible. His regeneration takes
title
time,
card?
his speed is lacking, and despite having 2 brains, one in his skull and the other where his tail meets his torso, he's pretty darn clumsy.
Where were you on that one, ass brain?
He officially lost a fight against King Kong, and he's even died in 4 separate films.
But Godzilla's victories definitely outweigh his failures. There's a good reason they call him the King of the Monsters.
Alright, now let's see Gamera. Good to see some of those clips again. I've seen a lot of those movies, honestly. And now we'll see. Well, I haven't seen anything.
The year was 1965, the apex of the space race.
Don't know war either.
Technology was advancing further and faster than ever before, but no one could have anticipated the bioengineered marvel hidden beneath the waves. Eons ago, the ancient people of Atlantis learned how to construct life and foolishly decided to play God.
But instead of creating something safe like a dog or a bunny, they created giant flying laser shooting murder birds. Surprise, surprise, they couldn't be controlled and they turned 100% of Atlantis into oceanfront property.
So, what was their solution to counter these giant destructive monsters? Why, another giant destructive monster, of course!
Gamera.
Enter Gamera, guardian of the universe and friend to all children.
Hurry, let's go. He won't harm us. Gamera doesn't hurt people. He likes us.
Friend to all children? That's a terrible title. How about Gamera, the flying, fire-breathing ninja turtle of doom?
That's actually not far off. For a 260-foot, 10,000-ton turtle, Gamera is quite agile.
And he sticks it! His arsenal includes 2 huge tusks, twin elbow spikes, and a fire breath so strong it can be used underwater, despite being, you know, fire.
Technically, it's highly concentrated plasma, the 4th state of matter. The hottest plasma ever created by man exceeded 3.6 million degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than the surface of the sun. Gamera's fireballs can burn through practically anything.
And when he's not spitting hot fire, he fucking eats it!
It's true, a fiery 4-course meal can quickly heal and re-energize him.
Naturally, as a giant turtle monster, he can retract his limbs and head into his shell for extra defense. And then fire rocket jets out of the holes and frickin' fly! What the fuck is this? Why can't my turtle do that? Someday, Mr. Snappy. Someday.
Mr. Snappy.
Gamera can fly at speeds breaching Mach 3, over 2,200 miles per hour. That's faster than the world record-holding SR-71 Blackbird.
But how the hell does he know where he's going? And more importantly, how does he not puke his guts out?
The Atlanteans built Gamera using mana, an ethereal energy force connecting all things, places, and people. Everything has a finite pool of mana, which can be measured using a Sega Dreamcast.
But it still can't play DVDs.
A person's mana is dependent on how much influence and authority they possess over others.
W product
As
placement
Gamera
back then.
literally holds the world's fate in his claws, his mana levels are off the charts.
Gamera can manipulate his mana in combat, which is useful when you've lost your arm and need to give your enemy a kaiju-sized falcon punch. Fuck yeah!
And if Gamera ever runs low on mana, he can summon more from the earth itself.
Dang.
I think he got him. Gamera is fast enough to catch a missile going Mach 10, capable of flying through outer space, and tough enough to survive a nuclear explosion which leveled the entire city of Sendai.
As Sendai is about 152 miles across, this explosion must have yielded nearly 112 megatons of force.
Gamera has a fierce will to fight. No matter how
Godzilla
much pain
breath
he's in,
might
he'll
do
keep
nothing.
pushing forward for the win.
So
And he's
the
not just
gods-
determined, he's actually quite brilliant. He tactically seeks to exploit enemy weaknesses, and is apparently smart enough to repair an alien spacecraft.
He does machines.
But despite his intelligence, he is not infallible. Gamera's supposedly impenetrable defenses have been pierced before. And remember, Gamera is explicitly the guardian of Earth, which does not necessarily include humanity. In fact, Gamera fears mankind may one day become the Earth's greatest enemy.
I knew he sounded too good to be true. He's a hippie turtle.
And yet, Gamera has a strange fondness for children.
Gamera. He will bring kids to his bed, touch them like no other can. Please don't tell on Gamera. No, really.
Actually, he's sacrificed his life to save children on multiple occasions, even used his ultimate self-destruct move, all for the safety of innocent children.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
All
right. Oh, that's the one of the games I was talking about. That's Godzilla Unleashed. Wow, I didn't ever know about Gamera games. I wonder if they're as good as those. But so yeah, Gamera has pretty tough. I'm sticking with Godzilla. Gamera seemed cool too. I'd be down to watch those movies at some point in life. But yeah, I'm gonna root for Godzilla and say
Combatants
Godzilla
are
wins
set.
it.
Let's end
go.
this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Godzilla. Comes Gamera. The Godzilla model looks like the newer Godzilla. Here's the atomic breath. Oh, Gamera with the fire absorbing. the hit. Oh. That flying thing is crazy. He's flying away now. Oh. Both these guys can take their fair share of hits. Absolute tank kaijus. Oh. Flying away. Oh, turned him into Space Godzilla. Oh no. They're still going. Man, I almost thought Godzilla would have been cooked there. But I was worried when they're going into space. Thankfully, they're back down. Oh! Oh no, but he can lose an arm though. That falcon punch, she said. Oh no, he's using the other thing. Oh. Oh no. Dang. That was enough to vaporize. No! No! Godzilla's still up! It's not over yet. Oh my, yo, this I feel like this is like a longer fight. Oh. Oh, he broke through. Oh, he blew him up. Hey, let's go. Sorry, Gamera, you did seem cool, but Godzilla.
To his title because Godzilla just made turtle soup.
Gamera may have held the speed advantage, but Godzilla's sheer size and power won this bout.
He's 9 times heavier. Plus, while Gamera tanked a city-busting nuke and almost died, Godzilla tanked a similar explosion from a meteorite and didn't even flinch.
Gamera's shell was once pierced by Virus, a physically weaker foe. There's no doubt Godzilla could overpower this giant turtle.
Hell, he's strong enough to match goddamn Thor. And since Godzilla's atomic breath is composed of pure radiation, not fire, Gamera could not feed off of it.
But most importantly, Gamera has a history of winning through retreating. He usually takes one round to analyze his foe and another to win the day. On paper, this sounds like a smart idea.
But unfortunately for Gamera, Godzilla don't play like that. Looks like Godzilla put Gamera through living shell.
The winner is Godzilla.
Godzilla, let's go! Let's go! So, so far today for this video, I'm what? 3-1? I got Scorpion right, Godzilla right, Mario right, and I got Knuckles wrong. So yeah, that was a really cool one. That one, I went back and forth, kind of took a while. I was nervous for Godzilla there. I thought, you know, when he got Gamera's arm, Gamera's gonna use the punch thing that he said, that the Falcon punch kind of like thing the movie got, but no, he didn't end up doing that. So yeah, GG's to Gamera, but let's go Godzilla. That was a good battle, and I remember when I knew, because I've known of Gamera for a while. I was like, really, there's not like a Godzilla versus Gamera movie, because there's like Godzilla versus Kong and stuff like that. But that would be sick. But yeah, very, very cool, very, very awesome. Godzilla and Ultraman is another one that would be pretty cool. I may know a thing or two about Ultraman. Okay, so this next one is actually going to be a replay because I watched it live on stream. Because I know some of my stream community peeps, they're big fans of TF2 and some even Overwatch. So, by me saying they probably know which one's coming. It is Tracer versus Scout. So I'm going to let that one play, and then we'll get back to real time again, and we'll watch another one. It's a bit of an older one, but it is Overwatch versus TF2. Cause yeah, ooh, okay. I took a look at the like to dislike. It's a little, not crazy, but it's a 132K to 52K. So someone's mad. Someone's mad. So I don't know if it's Overwatch fans, it's a TF2. Oh, we got Icy saying TF2 better and Shotaro saying TF2 better. Say hi to YouTube indeed. Okay. So, I am Steve. Okay, I'm sorry. But I have played a decent amount of Overwatch. Both, I still have like the disc version for Xbox One. Like that, like in fact, oh yeah, right. It's still like I still have this ancient relic now. And I've played a bit of Overwatch 2. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the game. Like I'll have fun with it. I'm down to play it with people, but like I very, very rarely. I'm not sure if I ever like played it solo or alone, and I'm not one of those things. Like I'm not the best at it, not trying to learn it or anything. But for TF2, I played it. I think once. One session I played it, and I don't know, like the hero shooter kind of genre. Just in my opinion, isn't like that. My biggest cup of tea. Like it is kind of cool, like how everyone has like a certain role, and you get like the medics, the support, the damage, the whatever the role. But like I feel like it like really highlights you, and if you don't do your part, it's like you get like cooked, and like other than something like like a COD or a Halo, like you can just kind of like do your own thing while like it still benefits the team. But like I'm not really the biggest fan of being tied down to like one role while playing. Like you have to be like a healer or a support or whatever, or a tank, whatever. A physical copy in big 2025. I know, it's crazy. So, but I do know, I know of Tracer, of course. I played her a bit in Overwatch, not too much. And then Scout in TF2, I've seen, like the TF2 animations and shorts and whatnot. However, initially, I'm not gonna lie, if I had to take a guess, I'm gonna have to put my money on Tracer to win this, because I have the rewind ability, the teleport, the dual pistols. I'm gonna have to go say I think Tracer's gonna win this. Who am I rooting for? That's a good question. It's not the biggest route, to be honest. TF2 and Overwatch, the matchup of the games that evolved. Poor. There's an actual thing. TF2 allowed animators to do some crazy stuff, and when Overwatch came out, people loved Tracer so much they made new animation software and techniques for it. Really? Piece of trivia I am burdened with knowing, because years ago I heard about it in Did You Know videos. Well, now we're all burdened, so what's a burden if you can't share it? Yeah, but alright. I don't know, because like I really Winston regardless, because Rule 34 often depicts Scout and Tracer together. Don't ask me how I know. I wish to forget what I saw. Bruh. Alvin Blizzard gave them the actual game modes for this fight. Oh. Alright, let's see. Like I said, as for right now, I'm gonna predict Tracer wins. And I guess I'll kind of root for Tracer, maybe. I don't know. I play more Overwatch than TF2. It's an interesting one. Alright.
To be the elite, you must surround yourself with the best of the best. Whether you band together to save the world, or just a worthless plot of land.
And every good team needs a good hit and runner.
Like Tracer, the spunky agent of Overwatch.
And the Scout, the Boston-born merc of Team Fortress. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. 30 years from the present, mankind would become careless. Their machine servants rose up to fight for freedom, and so began a worldwide war.
But one organization stood between world peace and total chaos. Overwatch, a team consisting of the world's greatest scientists,
So,
cyborgs,
Tracer
ninjas,
first.
cowboys, and pilots.
Including Lena Oxton, codenamed Tracer. The youngest pilot ever inducted into Overwatch's flight program, Tracer is a free-spirited and fearless flying ace, always laughing in the face of danger.
After helping to secure world peace, no big deal, right? She was chosen to test a new prototype fighter jet, which could teleport.
But then everything went horribly wrong. Instead of teleporting from point A to B, the fighter jet accidentally transported her through time.
How do you accidentally create a time machine and put it in a fighter jet?
A word to the wise, this is why you use animals before moving to human trials, like I always do. Anyway, Tracer essentially existed as a ghost, uncontrollably phasing in and out of time. It looked like Overwatch's prized pilot would be decommissioned forever.
Until her teammate, good friend, and gorilla scientist Winston made a special techno doohickey to keep her locked in the present.
This chronal accelerator doesn't just anchor Tracer's time displacement, it also gives her two different ways to manipulate her own time flow. In a near instant, she can zoom approximately 23 feet away. This blink ability is not true teleportation, but instead speeds up time only for Tracer while propelling her in any given direction.
What?
She can briefly jump herself forward in time, though from an outside view it looks like a blur.
Got it.
More than that, she can also reverse
Which can
time
be very
for herself
annoying
with
in
the
game.
recall ability, which returns Tracer's health and spatial position back to where they were a few seconds before. While usually recall only turns back 3 seconds, in some instances she's gone as far back as 15.
Well, thank God her weapons aren't as confusing as that shit. She carries dual rapid-fire pulse pistols as her primary pain dispensers. Each can empty 20 rounds in a single second.
But what the pulse pistols have in power, they sorely lack in range and accuracy.
Good thing she also has her pulse bombs. I'll put it this way, pretty much anybody she sticks this thing to has exactly 2 seconds to make their peace before going to the big capture point in the sky.
Tracer maximizes her unique weaponry with hit-and-run tactics, frustrating her enemies and making her very difficult to pin down.
Yeah, in addition to blinking and recalling all over the place, she can jump 15 feet in the air.
She's disarmed the highly trained and literally cold-blooded assassin Widowmaker, protected the Doomfist Gauntlet from theft, and even once avoided a sniper shot from just 30 feet away. A sniper round usually travels almost 1,800 miles per hour when fired, meaning Tracer had to react within 1/100th of a second.
Unfortunately, that bullet found another target. Rest in peace, Robot Gandhi.
Although Tracer is a slippery opponent on the battlefield, her chronal accelerator has its limits. If used too many times in succession, it can overheat, forcing Tracer to wait for a recharge. As her pistols are linked to the accelerator, this can sometimes cause them to overload as well.
Plus, she's a pilot first, and not exactly a crack shot while on foot. If she doesn't get in close, she's not hitting anything but air.
In spite of that, Tracer doesn't let any of it get her down. Wherever there's danger, she'll be there in a blink of an eye with a cocky smile.
I have seen
Roger
some of these like
bullets.
animations.
Wait, whatever happened to that time-warping fighter jet?
I don't know.
Don't worry, loves. Cavalry's here.
All right, so I'm already pretty good powers. I kind of already knew that. I was fresh in my head. What I don't really know is what Scout's power. What does Scout do to combat it? Because Tracer has a weakness. You know, if she like overuses it, maybe he's got this. But right now, I'm feeling Tracer might have this one. Scouts.
In the year
Let's see.
1850, an extremely wealthy entrepreneur passed away, leaving his family land and business to his 2 sons. But like brothers are prone to do, they ended up fighting over each other's land right off the bat.
TF2 lore.
This went on for decades, and then the brothers began recruiting mercenaries to literally wage war. And that's when things really got out of control.
Each hired gun contributed with their own specialized expertise.
The sniper killed from afar, the engineer slaughtered with machines, and the heavy mowed people down with the biggest goddamn gun they'd ever seen. What kind of sandwiches were they feeding that guy?
But one every man only relied on his cunning, his 2 feet, and a baseball bat. This was the Scout. Born in Boston, Massachusetts in the 1950s, the mercenary only known as Scout was the runt among 7 older brothers.
And all of them loved to wander the town looking for a good fight. Problem was, Scout's brothers were so big and tough, the fights would be over before he could get the chance to throw his own punches.
Desperate to fight alongside his siblings, Scout realized that what he lacked in strength, he could make up for in speed.
So he started running, and running, and running, until one day he was fast enough to not only keep up, but get ahead.
Speed was his moniker, delivering pain was his game, and somewhere along the way he even learned how to jump off of thin air. Suddenly, the pathetic runt of the pack became the smart-mouthed terror of Boston.
Grass grows, birds fly, sun shines, and brother, I hurt people.
The only thing he was lacking was discipline, which he could get in the military, but that didn't sound like any fun, so he became a mercenary instead. Scout travels light, relying on a lovely shotgun and a baseball bat. Yes, a baseball bat. This guy is crazy enough to try and take out a rocket launcher-wielding soldier with a pop fly.
Which surprisingly works. Opponents are stunned by the size of his balls, both literally and figuratively, leaving them open for Scout to race up and finish them off with his guns.
Well, he's got a pistol for pinpoint accuracy. Scout's favorite tools for killing are definitely shotguns. The scatter gun is a confusing miracle of shotgun engineering that can somehow hold 6 shots in a double barrel, and is reloaded via divine intervention when you pull its lever. It's like the baby of a shotgun rifle and a revolver. But his most powerful gun is the Force of Nature, a shotgun that only has 2 shots, but kicks so hard it can boost him even higher into the air.
Regardless, a well-placed shot can quickly take down almost any other mercenary. To make the Force of Nature even more ridiculous, he can strap a can of energy drink called Bonk Atomic Punch to it, which somehow gives him 5 more mid-air jumps.
That's right, this guy flies with shotguns. But that's not all the soda has to offer. With just a sip of Bonk, Scout becomes totally invincible for 8 seconds. But he can't use any of his guns at that time.
Imagine if Scout became military. That's TF3.
Bonk contains several hundred times the daily recommended sugar intake. An adult male's suggested daily dosage is 25 grams, meaning Bonk contains, at minimum, 11 pounds of sugar. So
11 pounds
take another drink
at
for
minimum.
at least 20 seconds. And on top of that, it's radioactive.
You gotta have one tough body to handle that stuff. Tough enough to survive the onslaught of 3 rockets at once, or to swing a baseball bat hard enough to send a guy flying 80 feet away.
Possibly due to long-term Bonk exposure, but testing is still out.
Scout can defeat foes as strong as the heavy in close quarters combat, run 17 miles an hour for long periods of time, and even kill a bear with nothing but a hot dog suit and Amelia Earhart skeleton. I'm serious.
He has a knack for avoiding bullets, missiles, and even tentacles from a bread monster, but at the cost of wearing little to no armor, making him a glass cannon. And true to his reckless, unrestrained personality, Scout often runs headfirst into battle, regardless of the risk.
But if you want to take down the Scout, you're gonna have to catch him before he catches you. And that means you too, ladies.
That's right, Fancy Pants, myself. So why don't you take your little failure, roll it up sideways, and... Okay, crap, I gotta go. Screw you, though.
Alright, so this is, interesting. So, Scout, definitely a close quarters combat. We got shotguns, a baseball bat. We saw Tracer, against the Widowmaker, and she was like a sniper, so... I'm not really sure if that's like gonna be an advantage or a disadvantage. I think Tracer can like kind of like cheese it, I feel like, and like speed away. the energy drink stuff, and I think that was kind of crazy. They might have some durability for Scout, but unfortunately for the TF2 fans, I'm gonna have to stick with Tracers winning this. Unfortunately, that's my guess right now. Tracer, the fast members of this. I realized the speeds. I didn't realize Scout had the speed. So definitely notable features. Definitely for Scout at definitely the durability for the drink. For Tracer, I did just her like ability. The sniper shot. Like she like had to react like in like I forget how, but too long didn't read. She had to react mad fast to dodge that sniper bullet. So while Scout does some interesting jumping, I think Tracer may be the faster one here, and yeah, her ability of like the teleport stuff and the rewind, I think it's gonna be a little too much. I think Tracer is gonna get the nice TF2 is still a better game. I see is I think bracing for it. Yeah, we'll see here. I mean, I think maybe Scout has this, but I think Tracer might get this one. But Tracer, the overheat feature on her thing, that maybe there's something there. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
All right, here we go.
You're toast! Whoa!
Bruh.
Hey there, hot stuff.
Hello.
Oh, he's trying to riz.
If I told you had a great bod, would you hold it against me?
That's nice. I was just leaving.
Oh, sure thing. Come back anytime. Just put that briefcase back before you go. Thanks.
Sorry, love. Overwatch needs this more than you do.
Oh yeah, she's cheesing it.
Yo, Putz, how you doing that?
Oh yeah, the bomb.
Oh, that's just great.
Oh, energy drink time. Maybe.
Supposedly, this stuff will liquefy your esophagus after just one can, but, you know, it's also very handy when you feel like not getting blown up.
That's not very fair.
Listen, sweetheart. I never play fair.
Ooh. Oh, her ult's charging up. Oh! Overheat.
Head at the plate.
Ooh.
Out of the park.
Well, you know, maybe.
All right, doll. Fun's over.
Not yet, mate. The cavalry's there.
Rewind time. And she's charged back up.
Shit.
I'm forget what her ult is at this current moment. Oh. Another. Oh, he's popping another one.
This time, Yankee!
Oh.
Oh, come on, give me a...
Oh.
Well, that was fun.
That was it. I didn't. I wasn't sure if that was her or not. So yeah, Tracer did win. Plot armor. Yes, Tracer won by plot armor. Okay, so yeah, I kind of figured Scout put up a good fight, maybe even a little bit better than I thought. So yeah, after I heard, I think was that like mine thing. So yeah, I can see TF2 fans definitely not the happiest, but yeah, you know, I mean that the energy drink thing is crazy, but I don't know, I feel like the power is Tracer's power is just gave her the edge, and it kind of showed. So unfortunate for TF2 and Scout.
He's out.
But GG's
Scout
to
was
Tracer.
fast and tough, but Tracer's unique arsenal and
I did guess that
evasiveness
right.
pulled her ahead.
Scout's greatest feat was potentially surviving an assault from 3 rockets at once. However, the rocket's point of impact is never directly shown, and since direct hits from rockets regularly obliterate far tougher mercs, it's unreasonable to assume this was any different.
Scout could sprint up to 17 miles an hour for an extended period of time, which is slightly faster than the average human's 15 miles per hour. But Tracer's natural reactive instinct gave her the edge. For example, avoiding that sniper round from 30 feet away means she can react 25 times faster than the vast majority of other human beings.
Which means Tracer could avoid almost anything Scout threw at her. Even when she couldn't, her recall ability not only helped her survive, but effectively ruined any of Scout's elements of surprise.
This allowed Tracer plenty of opportunities to take him out.
And just like that, Scout was gone, without a trace.
The winner is Tracer.
Tracer wins. So yeah, people didn't like that fight. It does show a little bit in the dislike. I see the phrase. Scout is known as the speedy boy. Also, Scout walks everywhere, doesn't move at all for the entire fight. A lot of people say Scout should have won. I demand a rematch. Scout will respawn or Miracle Revive. I mean, I didn't really know too much about Scout. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely not impossible for him to win, but I also think it's not impossible for Tracer to win that either. Didn't walk up to Tracer when she was down. He could have shot her. Yeah, maybe a little bit too cocky, maybe. But I feel like that. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I feel like that could be in his character though, to like walk, and not be on his toes. Yeah, that's actually 8 years ago. So it is longer. Yeah, maybe could have used a little bit better Scout's representation in the fight, but at least me, I don't really get. I feel like that was all right, but would be an interesting rematch in the future if they do that. Plus, this Tracer, I believe, is British, and Scout's from Boston, so. Maybe I should root for Scout. USA! USA! The benefits of watching some of these live sometimes is I get other people's commentary, and I was told that one was actually the biggest, the greatest received one. A lot of people disagree with that one, and like I said throughout the time, I'm not really the biggest TF2 or Overwatch guy, so I didn't really have the biggest horse in the race, but I've definitely played a much more Overwatch than I have TF2, so I definitely wasn't not happy with that, but it was kind of funny to see some of my hardcore my friends are hardcore TF2 guys kind of sort of be like damn and crash out, but yeah. Next up here, next one here is going to be one that I kind of sort of know both sides. One side I've seen, I believe, like all of the seasons or volumes out of it. The other one, I've played an entire game with the character in it, but I think there's more to it. I'm not really sure, and I'm just gonna not beat around the bush for this one. This is Yang versus Tifa, Ruby versus Final Fantasy, and I like Ruby pretty decently actually. I know it cannot be the or it can be the not most well written material sometimes, and there's some, definitely some valid criticisms of it. But overall, I'm kind of a fan of Ruby. Final Fantasy, I have played one Final Fantasy game. I have played the Final Fantasy 7, I think, remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake, and that's where I saw Tifa from, and she was a pretty cool character, and the game in general was pretty good. I know there's a lot of Final Fantasy stuff, and I kind of looked into a little bit, and I don't think you need to really like play a lot of them in order. Like there's like a sequel to Final Fantasy 7, but I haven't played that, so I don't know. There may be some new information that gets told to me here. Not too worried about spoilers, because I'm not sure if I'm ever going to really dive into Final Fantasy like that. And I have seen I've seen volumes 1 through 9 of Ruby. Hopefully volume 10's on the way. I've also seen Ice Queendom. The Justice League thing. I didn't see those, but yeah, let's see. I think I'm gonna be low key rooting for Yang in this one, though. I did like Tifa. I have a feeling Tifa's gonna win this one. Personally, I'm gonna kind of root for Yang right now, but early prediction is Tifa wins that one. We'll see what you got for me. Death Battle.
Punching, the most useful language in the world when words fail, and these two lovely ladies are fluent in it.
Yang Xiaolong, the adventurous huntress from Ruby.
And Tifa Lockhart, the Final Fantasy heavy hitter with enormous power.
But
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The world of Remnant is, well, crazy. Vicious creatures called Grim run wild, entire cities have gone to waste, and every single weapon is also a gun. Even nunchucks.
Oh, that sounds like Disneyland to me. The happiest, most gun-filled place on Earth.
Luckily, the world is protected by the Huntsmen and Huntresses, an elite group of expertly trained warriors.
And where else would you get the training to kill bloodthirsty monsters than from high school?
Oh, I can't believe my baby sister's going to Beacon with me. This is the best day ever!
Please stop.
After losing her mother to mysterious circumstances and being trained all her life by her hero legend of an uncle, Yang Xiaolong was accepted into Beacon Academy.
It's kind of like Hogwarts, except replace wands and books with swords, sniper rifles, and giant transforming scythes. Man, this place just keeps getting better and better. Seriously, I know where I'm gonna retire now.
A natural fighter and thrill seeker at heart, Yang fit right in and soon found herself a member of the color-coordinated team, Ruby, led by her younger sister, Ruby.
Because that's not confusing at all.
I'm talking about kicking off the semester with a bang.
I always kick my semesters off with the Yang. Eh? Guys? Right?
Anyway, Yang's time at Beacon was well spent, and she became the master of punching all the things.
See, while Yang's fellow teammates wield a scythe, a couple swords, some big guns, Yang's style of combat takes a more direct approach.
Yeah, she does, with her shotgun gauntlets.
Her 2 golden bracelets aren't just stylish, they extend to form a weapon called the Ember Celica.
With just a punch, the Ember Celica fires off a flash of kinetic energy, blasting a foe with an explosion of force and a beautiful sound.
I'm so hungry!
To top it off, these concussive blasts can fly several hundred feet. Yang is one of the few people I know who can punch a bird out of the sky. That's what you get for crapping on my car.
In addition, like most huntresses, Yang can manifest her soul as an aura. Aura can be used to block deadly attacks and heal minor wounds, and Yang's is no different.
But my favorite way she uses her aura is when she goes Super Saiyan.
Many hunters and huntresses possess a semblance, a special power unique to them that makes Beacon Academy look a little more like
There's some very good music in RWBY too.
Yang's semblance absorbs damage from hits she takes, adding them to her own physical power. After taking just 2 attacks from a mech suit, she was strong enough to shatter the whole thing in one go.
Unfortunately, her semblance does not increase her aura's defense, so she feels the full force of everything that hits her aura, and can only absorb power so long as she remains conscious.
Luckily, she's pretty tough. Yang survived a punch that easily smashed her through a concrete pillar. You know, the ones designed to hold up entire bridges?
And during a food fight, remember this is high school, Yang was knocked up into the air and did not come back down for about 100 seconds. More than enough time to reach terminal velocity. This means upon landing, she took an impact of nearly 50 tons of force.
And stood right back up like it was nothing. Oh, what a waste of good food.
Despite this, Yang can only take so much. Her aura has a limit, as does her short temper. Pushing both of these too far leaves her extremely vulnerable.
Like when this ice cream lady knocked her out because Yang had been fighting monsters all day with no sleep.
It's also worth noting Yang is less adaptable when fighting against foes specializing in kicks.
Still, she's confident she's one of the best in her class and dedicated to graduating Huntress School so she can travel the world fighting everyone just for the thrill of it.
Nailed it.
All right, definitely I think did Yang justice. I do remember she had the semblance of like she could like, you know, like absorb attacks and then kind of like you know use it back. And then she had like the hair glowing thing. So yeah, definitely interesting. I definitely Tifa's the one I definitely need to learn a little bit more about. I like I said, I've played Final Fantasy, the remake of 7. So I kind of I didn't really see too much other than she had like punching as well. Maybe I didn't really know they were gonna take, you know, the like the food fight stuff, like her going up and down like that, like seriously. So I don't know. Depending on what they say for Tifa here, I maybe a Yang has the edge. I'm not sure.
Far to the west on the planet Gaia lies a small mountain village called Nibelheim. At first glance, this town appears calm and peaceful, not worth a second look.
Until a sword-wielding goth guy found his alien mother hidden inside. He's celebrated with fireworks.
After losing her parents and watching the madman Sephiroth burn her hometown to ashes, Tifa Lockhart joined Avalanche, a group dedicated to protecting the planet from ecological harm and meteors.
Speaking of meteors, check out the size of the
boomstick.
What? I was talking about the meteor.
Sure you were.
Anyway, Tifa was thrust into the stereotypical gender role of housekeeper by maintaining the hidden Avalanche home base 7th Heaven. But it wasn't all bad because it also doubled as a bar.
And she doubled as a bouncer.
Now, I've been thrown out of my fair share of bars for totally illegitimate reasons, but not even I would urinate on the 7th Heaven jukebox with Tifa on guard.
Smart choice, since she is a master of close quarters combat. Tifa is a feint brawler, adept at surprising foes with quick, powerful strikes. And as she traveled with her friend Cloud to save the planet, she learned 7 legendary techniques, the limit breaks.
Accessing her inner gambler, Tifa's limit breaks include rapid-fire punches, explosive throwdowns, and summoning dolphins who uppercut people? Well, that's just awesome!
Okay,
and if she manages to throw all of them in order, she charges the last of her limit energy into one final titanic punch. The Final Heaven.
Final. Ooh.
Fuck you,
squirrel! That seems
Tifa
crazy.
is ready to throw down at a moment's notice, and even wears
I forgot about like that
everywhere she
that
goes,
move.
just in case a fight comes her way.
And if she decides to get really serious, Miss Lockhart busts out her 2 round, beautiful ultimate weapons.
Don't you dare!
The Premium Heart.
Oh, Well, the premium part increases Tifa's strength power immensely and continues to do so over time as she builds limit energy. However, they lose this increase after Tifa uses her limit breaks and need time to charge back up.
Oh, that sounds like it could be a problem. Oh, if she didn't also have magic!
In Final Fantasy VII, there's a wide variety of magical ability granting gems called materia. Any person can wield any materia, and it's up to the game's actual player to decide who gets what, giving Tifa no standard materia setup. However, thanks to the Dissidia Fighting series, we know Tifa prefers to carry fire and ice materia into battle.
These fire and ice materia let Tifa conjure and wield fire and ice. Combine that with her freakish superhuman strength, and she's like an unstoppable powerhouse.
Well, her immense power does come at a price. Her skills in speed and defense are somewhat lacking, making her something of a glass cannon. But to help make up for this, Tifa
Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe, but isn't in Ruby they also have like the dust that like could be like fire, ice, or other elements, and like can't those be used as bullets as well? So if Yang, like, I don't think Yang's ever used dust bullets, but I know Ruby has, and bullets are bullets if you have something to shoot, I think, maybe? I don't know, but that was, I don't expect them to use that because that was never explored in Ruby, but I think for potentially that could be a thing.
Two
maybe.
armor pieces. She wears a ribbon on her arm in memory of her late friend Aerith.
Come on, man. Don't bring that up.
Which protects her from negative effects like poison and paralysis. She also likely wears the Minerva band to defend from fire and ice.
Glass cannon or not, her strength is ridiculous. She's strong enough to fight an embodiment of Sephiroth and throw giant monsters around like nothing.
And there was the time she helped throw Cloud through the air to reach the flying monster Bahamut Sin. After leaving Tifa's hand, you can see a Mach cone form around Cloud, which means Tifa must have helped throw him with enough force to break the sound barrier.
Oh, Cloud's a lightweight. Come on, how hard can that be?
Well, factoring in the weight of Cloud and his giant weapon, he must have been thrown with up to 153 tons of force.
Damn.
Well, shit, talk about power. You don't want to mess with Tifa's strong, twin, firm,
no
fists. Also, she's got a really nice rag. Did I mention that yet?
Could not help it.
All done.
All right, so. Decent matchup, maybe a little bit more than I thought. However, I think there's just a little bit more on Tifa's side with the final Heaven Strike, maybe the materia, and just there just seemed like the stats favored her a little bit. Though Yang has like the semblance as well. I gotta predict that Tifa's gonna win this, though. Like I said, I'm more of a Ruby fan than a Final Fantasy fan, definitely, because I've only played the one Final Fantasy. I'm not sure if I'm going to gonna play any more of that franchise, maybe, possibly, but I definitely have seen all of Ruby, like Ruby, and I'm excited for more Ruby, so I'm gonna root for Yang in this one for the brand. I'm ready for the brand. Shout out Pat McAfee, and but I think Tifa's
all right,
got
the
this
combatants
one.
are set. Let's end this debate.
Not unfortunately though, because I do like
Time
Tifa.
for a
as well.
death battle!
All right, let's go. I'll wait. They're doing the background character silhouettes like Ruby to has.
Hold up. Let me see some ID.
Oh, Tifa's the bar. Oh, this is a good.
No need to panic, people.
Story.
Just looking for someone. I will take a strawberry sunrise, though. No ice. Thanks.
Sorry, miss. I think you'd better turn yourself around and look elsewhere.
So, does this mean no sunrise?
Oh. Definitely gotta be a scrappy one. Oh, there's the ice. Ooh. Ooh.
Having fun? I sure am.
Don't mock me.
Oh, the table. Oh, those are her weapon things.
Warm up, so.
Oh.
I'm going to blow you out of the water.
Hey.
Not even close.
Dang. Oh, 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 dang, oh. Oh.
Don't move.
Oh. Oh, dang.
All right. Let's see if you can keep up with this.
Meteor drive. Oh, oh, that dolphin. Oh, yeah, there go all the moves. Oh.
Did I just explode?
Oh. Oh, Final Heaven. Oh. Oh. Oh, Yang just absorbed that. Oh. Oh, she just smashed it. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh. Yo.
Nailed it.
Wow, I was not expecting that one. That's crazy. I mean, hey, they gave it to Yang. Wow. I did not think she was going to be able to absorb the Final Heaven move and or like smash through. I guess her semblance is like that crazy. I mean, they do the math and science, and I know some people think it's wrong, or some people are kind of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But that was a very good one. That actually was crazy. I love how they put the mix some of the music. They like the Ruby music, and I'm pretty sure they got lines from the actual voice actor of Yang. And I know they had like a partnership with Rooster Teeth at one point. I don't know if this was before or after that. This is kind of an older one. Yeah, 9 years ago. So yeah, that was pretty sick though. That was pretty sick. I'm happy, you know, Team Ruby gets the W here. But man, that was a crazy one. You know, I know this is an older one, and I think the remake game I played definitely is a little newer. It's a remake. I've seen some of the footage, but that Tifa model for me, I don't want to complain about that because these are really good information. But Tifa model looked a little weird, and her voice definitely wasn't what I remember used to. But I said, probably different things, different stuff about it. So yeah, but that was an epic one.
Cross another potential wife off the list.
Tifa was naturally stronger and more experienced than Yang, but Yang's semblance quickly turned all Tifa's power against her.
Even the Minerva Band, the best of Tifa's armor options to counter Yang's strength and shotgun blast, was eventually overtaken by the semblance.
Plus, while Tifa could lift creatures many times heavier than Cloud using her limit breaks, she never shows this kind of strength anywhere else, implying that this power is exclusive to those limit breaks rather than something she possesses naturally.
And even though Tifa's premium heart increased in power over time, they reset after her limit breaks, while Yang's power kept on rising.
However, Yang's real trump card was her aura. Her semblance would have been useless if she could not survive Tifa's attacks. Luckily, her aura is durable enough to take a punch that shattered a concrete pillar about 4 feet wide, a feat which requires at least 1,400 tons of force.
That's the equivalent of having 360 jetliners fall on your face. Yang's power just pulled through in a snap.
The winner is Yang Xiaolong.
That's crazy. All right. GG's to Yang. Honestly, GG's. I got that one wrong, though. I didn't have faith. I think I just underestimated Yang's semblance. Yeah, that one was pretty sick. It's interesting because they mentioned the pillar thing, and you know, that'd be hard to balance, like what information you take in. Like, cause some things, like, what if it was just like a gag thing, like the school. Jeez, I almost said I almost said school shooting, bro. What is wrong with me? The food fight, the food fight scene, like when she flew up and I landed back down. I think that was more of a gag, but I think they took that as her strength. I mean, like, I guess that could be a thing, because I guess, you know, Saitama is like an entire gag, but he's still like strong. But yeah, I have a feeling. I feel like Final Fantasy seems like a kind of a popular franchise. It seems like there's so many. I feel like there's Final Fantasy 13, 2, 7, 8. Like, there's so, like, there just seems like so many, and like it just seems like I didn't really know like how to get into it. The reason I played the one is because I requested to and I gifted it by someone, so that was the reason why there. So I think maybe there may be some unhappy people, especially because it feels like a lot of people don't think too highly of the Ruby characters when it comes to strength, at least from what I've seen. But I haven't seen too much. But yeah, very interesting. I'm happy with that. But it does go on a loss for the guess record, though. I'm sure I had more faith. But yeah, overall, I'm happy because I do like Yang as a character. At least in like the first 3 volumes of the Ruby, and not like kind of falling off a cliff. But that is like that's not here for discussion. It feels like, I don't know. She only cares about Blake anymore, and I feel like they're doing that for the shipping. But like your sister's there, I don't want to get into that. Let's get on to the next death battle, shall we? Next up here is one similar to what we saw. I think I mentioned I was actually going to watch this one earlier. It is Sub-Zero versus Glacius. I believe that's how you say that. We got Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct. Not really a Killer Instinct fan. I don't really play that fighting game. Never played it. But I am a decent Mortal Kombat fan. Definitely my favorite fighting game. And not only that, but Sub-Zero is my favorite character. I was even him for like Halloween one year. I'm not even kidding. I was Sub-Zero for Halloween. I think I still have the costume. Does it fit me still? Probably not. But I like Sub-Zero a lot. I'll have to learn about Glacius, but right now, of course, after we just watched 2, I gotta have faith. I'm going with the boy. Give me Sub-Zero to win this one. Of course, I'm definitely rooting for Sub-Zero in this one, no matter what they say. But we'll see if I still take Sub-Zero in this.
The freezing chill of death is a horrifying thought. Whether it comes from being alone in the mountains, submerged in the Antarctic,
or if you're really unlucky, getting iced by one of these cool warriors. Wow, sorry, that was bad, even for me.
Sub-Zero, the Cryomancer Ninja of Mortal Kombat.
And Glacius, the icy alien with a killer instinct. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Did anyone ever make like a game or like I know there's like Marvel versus Capcom, but like and like guest characters, but like what if you could get like Street Fighter characters, Mortal Kombat characters, Killer Instinct characters, Soul Calibur characters, like, all these fighting games into one thing, and like they actually like simulate this or actually like play it. That'd be cool.
For untold generations,
sure there's mods
the Lin
and
Kuei
stuff.
assassins waged war with their rival splinter group, the
Bring that
Shirai
more to
Ryu.
life.
Desperate to claim victory in the bloody conflict, the Lin Kuei resorted to drastic means of recruitment for able-bodied soldiers, no matter what age they were.
So, kidnapping children?
Kidnapping children.
Well, at least they got to be ninjas. I bet their tiny little bodies would be even stealthier.
Turns out 2 of these kids just so happen to be descendants from a race of extra-dimensional beings experienced in the art of ice magic. Their names were Bi-Han and Kuai Liang.
With the Lin Kuei's training, these brothers became cold-blooded assassins and the finest warriors in the clan.
And whether it started as a joke or he just thought it was badass, Bi-Han adopted a brand new name, Sub-Zero.
Sounds like an online username from your teenage years that you regret forever when you're older.
Sub-Zero was so fierce and driven, he became directly responsible for the complete annihilation of the rival Shirai Ryu clan.
Unfortunately for him, one of them, called Scorpion, survived. Well, kind of, and decided to kill him right back. Which obviously pissed off Kuai Liang, who decided to do the same to Scorpion, and got it. It's like high school drama, but with murder.
Striving to honor his fallen brother, Kuai Liang assumed his brother's mantle as the champion of the Lin Kuei. Sub-Zero was reborn.
Sub-Zero.
This new Sub-Zero is a master of Shotokan Karate and Dragon Kung Fu, and enhances his martial arts with his deadly cryomantic abilities.
Subby can freeze the moisture in the air to do tons of stuff. He can make his own personal slip and slide, perfect for surprise attacks. He can form all sorts of weapons out of thin air, like daggers, swords, or even ice hammers. But best of all, the dude can make ice so cold, it instantly freezes anybody who touches it.
This can be achieved through Sub-Zero's Ice Blast projectile, or the Ice Clone technique, both of which completely immobilize his opponent for devastating follow-up attacks.
Did he just make a perfect sculpture of himself? Why doesn't he go into the ice sculpting business? Dude would make a killing. Ooh, just, you know, not the literal kind. He's got that down already.
Sub-Zero can also implement his cryomancy and ninja talents in what appears to be near-instant teleportation, an unexpected ability which baffles even his fellow assassins.
Yeah, but I bet that's still not as unexpected as turning into a friggin' polar bear. Like, how, though? I want to do that.
'Cause why not?
And best of all, after subduing his enemy, Sub-Zero has no qualms about tearing them to bloody shreds with one of his fatalities.
Taking after his dear old bro's favorite form of murder, Sub-Zero can rip a person's head off with their entire spinal column in tow. This one's for you, Bi-Han. If he's feeling particularly nasty, Sub-Zero will toy with his opponent. He'll encase their lower half in ice and force them to watch helplessly as he tears them in half. Or for a quick death, he'll put them in a deep freeze that shatters like glass.
At most, it takes Sub-Zero approximately 4 seconds to freeze a person in place, which in real-world physics is completely impossible.
so Mortal Kombat fatalities are so crazy. Like, he ripped his skull attached to the spine and then used it to bat the frozen body.
To induce full-body frostbite in that time, he would have to lower the surrounding temperature to negative 6.5 million degrees Fahrenheit.
That's a stupid amount of cold.
13,000 times colder than absolute zero, to be exact, making it a temperature which literally cannot exist.
And yet still not as cold as my ex-wife's heart. Ha! Anyway, Sub-Zero has more than earned his reputation as one of the most fearsome fighters in the Mortal Kombat universe. He's strong enough to break titanium statues with a single chop, quick enough to dodge an oncoming rocket, and he defeated some of the best warriors across multiple dimensions, like the lizard dude Reptile and Taven the half-god, who single-handedly defeated dozens of Lin Kuei assassins. He's beaten his rival for life, Scorpion, several times, and even took on Batman?
Through sheer willpower, he survived injuries no normal person could walk away from, like getting torched in the face by a flamethrower, or being double impaled through the torso, and then torched again.
Whoa, that's a lot of blood. Like, how does he have any left?
I know, right? But that pales in comparison to when he underwent the procedures which turned him into a
cyber Scorpion,
and then was blown apart and reassembled into human form while still conscious.
Damn, what a tough son of a bitch.
But don't overestimate him. Although Sub-Zero keeps company with powerful spirits, undead wraiths, and immortal gods, he's not one of them. He may have incredible powers, but he's still just a mortal man. Also, his emotional baggage and desire to live up to his brother's name has clouded his judgment more than once.
But that didn't stop him from becoming Grand Master of the Lin Kuei. He changed their goals, turning them to the side of good, and even formed an alliance with his old rival Scorpion over a nice brunch. Life couldn't get any better. And then they found dragons!
Shirai Ryu, dog. Lin Kuei scum! Death is more honor than you deserve.
Beyond our solar system, advanced civilizations are governed by the 88 decrees. Should anyone dare...
Alright, so yeah, like I said in the Scorpion one, I have a decent little bit of knowledge to some of the Mortal Kombat lore. Not everything, but some of the the main things, but not too much on Killer Instinct. So this is the
to violate these laws, they will find themselves targeted by the Galactic Marshals.
I thought they did good with
Space Cops. One of these alien officers was sent to Earth to investigate an eerie distress signal, but he was shot down by the world-dominating corporation called Ultratech. You know, evil Walmart.
Ultratech had reverse-engineered equipment from an alien crash some decades prior, the Roswell incident. However, the use of advanced technology by less developed species is a clear violation of the 88 decrees.
Kinda like if you saw a chimpanzee pick up a flamethrower. It'd be awesome, but you'd want to take it away real quick.
Determined to correct these wrongs and return home, the alien marshal set his sights on bringing Ultratech to their knees and recovering his lost technology. And if he couldn't, he'd just blow it all up.
It was Ultratech who codenamed him Glacius. Don't let his name fool you. Glacius wasn't always known for his fancy ice powers. Actually, he comes from a race of aliens with weird telekinetic abilities.
By manipulating simple molecular structures, Glacius can use the environment nearby to create armor around his inner body. This came in handy when his ship was shot down in Antarctica, and he lost his native shell.
So he had no choice but to make a new shell out of ice, which permanently turned him into an abominable snow monster.
With this new body, Glacius developed a fighting style to make the most of his new capabilities.
Is he in a store in
Glacius
that
prefers to fight at a distance, using his long-range ice-bending attacks. He can turn
that
his
looks
limbs
like a
into
bunch of
huge
cheese.
ice lances to keep enemies at bay, create spiky hail projectiles, and even summon spires of ice right under his opponent. And did he just punch that guy with an ice sculpture of himself?
More or less. That is the Shatter technique, a powerful burst of energy which summons a mysterious uppercutting ice sculpture.
Sub-Zero's better.
Up some sweet combos on his foes. Still, for all his keep-away game, you'd think he'd be a total chump up close. But remember how he can move ice with his mind? Well, he can melt it too, including himself.
By turning his body into liquid, he can evade oncoming attacks, surprise opponents from below with the aptly named Puddle Punch, and even completely dissolve people into nothing.
Oh, wow.
And as an added precaution, he can summon extra ice to his body to serve as thicker armor. Though his molecular telekinesis is too limited to maintain this armor for long periods of time.
He may be made of ice, but Glacius can still hit hard enough to launch opponents several stories into the air, including the 550-pound Fulgore units Ultratech is known for.
He's cunning enough to not only infiltrate Ultratech's highly guarded facilities, but also surprise attack its highly advanced robotic CEO, Arya. Before making his move, by Arya's own calculations, Glacius was able to drop the temperature of the entire room by 122 degrees Fahrenheit in 0.026 seconds. That's a quarter of a tenth of a second.
Just like Sub-Zero, he can lower a person's temperature by like thousands of degrees to freeze his opponents completely solid. And then he makes them explode with his mind.
Maybe Glacius' real name is Kelvin, because that's colder than absolute zero.
Feel like that was some sort of nerd joke.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you're not allowed to make a joke ever again.
Oh, why do you gotta be so cold? Anyway, in Glacius' mission to bring down Ultratech, he battled and defeated dozens of killer robots, a zombie pirate, a genetically engineered dinosaur fighter, and a werewolf.
He even killed Cinder, the guy who's made of friggin' fire. You know, opposite ice.
Glacius is ridiculously intimidating, but he does have a weakness. His natural body within the ice is fragile and defenseless. His entire fighting style is built around keeping foes away for this
Wait a
very
minute,
reason.
that's General Rom from Gears? I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, that kind of looks like... That's General, that's crazy. That must have been like a guest character or something.
So, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Glacius?
That's gross.
What, he looks like a giant popsicle with legs. Come on!
You know what, Boomstick? You're fucking weird.
Alright, so interesting stuff from Glacius, and not gonna lie, there is some stuff there that gives me a little worry, especially if he could defeat fire. I feel like this is like a weird like match, a good matchup, but like I don't know, like there's no weakness here at all. It's like ice versus ice, like fight fire with fire. Like it's who can make the other person colder. I didn't really see anything about Glacius that like makes like yeah, he's definitely got this. So I am gonna stick with Sub-Zero wins this. Like I said, still gonna root for him. There's a slight like advantage towards Glacius maybe, but that might just be like in my head. I don't know, but I think Sub-Zero can definitely do it. Sub-Zero's got this. Definitely could go either way. We'll see how this one goes.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once
Come
and for
on,
all.
Sub-Zero.
But first, all this talk of these cold people makes me think of refrigerators, which makes me think of food. So here we go.
Blue Apron?
Now, I'm a man who likes a good home-cooked meal.
Look at me
But going
picking,
out to buy or
bruh.
cook my own food is a hassle. Some way food could be
They've
brought
had this
straight to
sponsor
me.
before, but
Good news, Boomstick. Introducing Blue Apron.
Stay away from the puddle.
Race is new to me. You will know the chill of death.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, but Sub-Zero's can't. He's dealt with bone mashing all the time. Go. Oh yes. Oh.
I should have known.
Oh.
Challenge accepted.
Let's go, Sub-Zero. Come on, Sub-Zero.
You're a formidable warrior, but you lack conviction.
Ooh. Nice. Oh, nice. Ah, shoot. No. Oh. Yes, yes. It's too fragile. Too fragile. His body. They said it. Let's go!
I know
Oh!
it's the theme and all, but that was just ice cold.
Bruh, that one had me nervous. I thought when he lost the hand and then started freezing, I thought that was it. Oh, but no, he got it. Let's go, Sub-Zero. Oh, that was I had a huge horse in the race on that one. I love Sub-Zero. And I have no idea who Glacius is. Big W.
Glacius and Sub-Zero seemed to be a near match in terms of cryomantic abilities, but it was Sub-Zero who had the training and the power to bring Glacius down.
Sub-Zero has fought ninjas, robot ninjas, secret agents, movie stars, gods, and even fellow ice warriors. Glacius really didn't have anything Subby hadn't seen before.
And while their speed was fairly similar, Sub-Zero's impressive reflexes and ninja-like skills gave him one of the most important edges in this fight. Yeah. He could maneuver around Glacius's keep-away strategy, and his teleportation kept him a step ahead, even able to avoid Glacius's liquid form. And while Glacius did possess a minor form of telepathy, there's no evidence to suggest that it was used for anything other than direct communication.
Sub-Zero could take a lot of hits, so he wasn't going down easy. But if you put their defenses side by side, Glacius's ice armor does seem better. But it really didn't matter because Subs could just chop right through it.
Sub-Zero could shatter titanium statues in a single blow, a feat which requires at minimum 63,000 pounds of force per square inch. And titanium is obviously tougher than ice. Assuming Glacius' shell is composed of blue ice, the purest and toughest form ice can take, it would still only take at most 57,000 pounds of force per square inch to crack his entire body in half.
And he didn't even need to go that far, just get to the squishy insides in the middle. I guess you could say that Glacius had his expectations shattered.
The winner is Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero, let's go! Big W's. I feel like I have a decent guess record going here. Like, I think I'm only down like 2. I think it was like the Yang and Tifa one, and maybe Donkey Kong and Knuckles, I think. Alright, so this next one is going back to the anime side of things. And it's one that honestly, these are 2 of my favorite animes of all time, 2 characters from them, but as far as characters go, you know, not my favorite characters in either of them, but cool characters, I'll admit, nice characters. Well, not nice, but nice as in nicely written, but this one is Sasuke versus Hiei. Naruto versus Yu Yu Hakusho. I've seen all of Yu Yu Hakusho. I loved it. I've seen all of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. I loved it as well. I have not seen Boruto yet. I do hope they don't go too in depth in that if they do touch upon Boruto. I may embrace spoilers if they do that, but if not, maybe I'll do a little bit of skipping. Or I don't know. Hopefully not. If they do it too much, then maybe you're not seeing this one. But but yeah, I should hopefully should be good. Yeah, honestly, I know these are fan favorite characters, but me personally, I wasn't the biggest Sasuke fan watching Naruto. In fact, I didn't like Sasuke. Like, his story was interesting and cool, but as a character, but he was getting on my nerves sometimes, kind of an ass. Like, but what are you doing? But he was kind of cool. He was kind of an ass sometimes too, but he was kind of funny. I think for this one I may slightly root for Hiei in this one, but this one I'm just here for like the vibes, like for the brand of it. Kind of similar to like Might Guy and All Might. Like, I don't have the biggest horse in the race, just maybe gonna lean one way over the other. For prediction wise, I'm gonna go with Sasuke because the Sharingan is just crazy. Like, the Sharingan does whatever the plot needs it sometimes. The Mangekyou, at least. And then, yeah, I don't know why. He's third part gonna do, like, the Renegon thing and the Susanai. He has so much. They have their own card game? They do. Death Battle card game. Like, card and dice. So it says... Did I miss that? Oh no, 5 years ago. Maybe it wasn't quite with the Yang and Tifa one.
They're grim, nihilistic, and dreadfully ominous. Even when they fight on the side of good, they'll never crack a smile or share in the reward.
Oh, great. We're talking about edgelords, aren't we?
Sasuke, rival to Naruto Uzumaki and the solitary survivor of the Uchiha clan.
And Hiei, rival to Yusuke Urameshi and lonely orphan to demons. Neat. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The Uchiha clan was renowned for their incredible ability in battle. Despite being one of the founding families of the Hidden Leaf Village, Konoha, the Uchiha were outcast and cut off.
For good reason. Their people had gotten pretty famous for attacking the village with a big nine-tailed fox, so not a good look.
But everything changed with the head of the clan's firstborn son, Itachi. He was a brilliant boy and a promising future for the family.
Even becoming the youngest kid to ever graduate ninja school. I went there for a bit, but then I learned they didn't use guns, so, you know.
But Itachi opposed the clan's latest plot for a coup. His response was, well, pretty clear-cut.
I'll say, he went and murdered all of them. Every last one, except for his kid brother, Sasuke. Naturally, Sasuke was pretty pissed off that his big bro killed his whole family, so he swore to become the bestest shinobi ever and hunt Itachi down. Probably should have let him in on the plan.
Probably listens to Linkin Park, bro.
Just like his brother, Sasuke soared through his schooling with flying colors, quickly learning the three primary kinds of
Across
jutsu, or
this
ninja
noodle.
Ninjutsu, which is basically magic spells, Genjutsu, which messes with the mind, and Taijutsu, the one where you just punch people.
While Sasuke impressed with inhuman speed, swordsmanship, and physical ferocity, he's mastered several powerful ninjutsu techniques.
Like belching his classic fire breath, making up to 8 shadow clones of himself, and the Chidori, a ball of freaking lightning that has some shocking effects.
Plus many more. And along the path to revenge, he spent much of his time perfecting and improving these techniques, even mastering lightning release to the point of casting Kirin, an electric strike in the shape of a dragon.
Divine Intervention 2.0. Smiting your foes is the way to go.
He can infuse his abilities with any of the 5 elements: fire, wind, earth, water.
Heart!
No, lightning, obviously.
No.
As well as yin release, an element of creation itself.
So basically, don't make fun of Sasuke to his face, because
there's been a few Boruto clips so far. I don't think anything too crazy.
The shit out of you before you even know what's happening. And we haven't even covered his best weapon yet.
Right. It turns out Itachi didn't only spare his brother because he loved him. He planned for Sasuke to witness this horror. He planned for Sasuke to swear revenge on him. Because this was the sort of trauma and hatred necessary to unlock an Uchiha's greatest weapon, the Sharingan.
The Sharingan eyes aren't some cool-looking lenses. They give Sasuke a bunch of new abilities. He can see chakra, the energy within people that powers jutsu. He can copy an opponent's techniques, memorizing them after one look.
It is almost like a mirror image of my own taijutsu.
He can even trap you in a bonkers genjutsu hallucination that makes you go crazy or just pass out. Like me on Saturday.
And that's just the standard version. By adding the trauma of loss to the mix, the Sharingan can evolve
like a Pokemon
into the Mangekyo Sharingan. With the Mangekyo, Sasuke can call upon far greater powers. He can cast Amaterasu, an irrepressible black fire hot enough to burn the sun. Even better, Sasuke can summon the Susanoo, an enormous avatar of chakra that fights for and protects him.
Which is strong enough to slice through meteors. Badass. Too bad Sharingan Part 2 has one big downside.
Yes, it eventually causes the user to go blind.
Unless you find someone else with the same manky eyes, pluck those out of his head, then rip out your own eyes and replace them with the other guys. Gross!
And so, Sasuke found and killed his older brother, avenging his family and swapping Mangekyo eyes. Which was, again, Itachi's plan all along. So, good job?
Who came up with this shit? Damn! We're not done with eyeball shenanigans, though.
It was really Donzo, too, but we'll have to go into...
Which gives him all sorts of weird context-sensitive powers. Like the, I'm not gonna say that word. He teleports by bending space and time.
Most notably, the Rinnegan grants Sasuke the powers of the 6 paths. Like the Diva path for manipulating gravity, the Human path for ripping out souls, and the Preta path for draining energy.
Like a ninja vampire!
Sasuke has used the Diva path in particular to extreme effect, once creating multiple planetoids which crashed in an explosion visible from outer space.
By checking out the Earth's curve here, it's pretty obvious the blast is worth more than 35 teratons of TNT. That's 7 billion times more powerful than the Tsar bomb, the biggest nuke ever detonated.
And as mentioned before, Sasuke is known for his incredible speed, able to keep pace with the likes of fellow legends Naruto and Madara. In fact, Naruto once dodged an attack from Madara which, according to the 4th databook, moves at the speed of light.
And Sasuke can fight Naruto to a draw. You know, the guy who's an alien descendant with a demon fox in his belly and also took a beam to the face that sliced the moon in half? That's a 27 exaton blast right there.
He's also like a descendant
Sasuke finally
too,
discovered Itachi's true goals. But even after making peace and having a child of his own, he never could return to the happy life of society.
You just can't shake off all that edginess.
Instead, Sasuke chose to defend the Hidden Leaf from a distance, just like his brother before him.
Don't mess with Sasuke of the Sharingan.
If anyone who criticizes my way of life were to come forward, I'd turn around and kill every single one of their loved ones, so that they too could grasp what it's like to experience this hatred of mine.
We are dealing with quite the edgelords, but okay. There were a little bit of Boruto stuff in there, but nothing. I don't think too crazy. Nothing that I haven't at least like also kind of stumbled upon before. Some other things. I don't know, that Naruto moon that I don't know if that was in the final Naruto movie, or if that was something in Boruto or not. I actually forget, because I know there was the final Naruto movie, like, and that one was kind of crazy doing some stuff, but yeah, interesting. Sasuke's got a lot, especially with the Mangekyo. I will see if they go into, off the top of my head, I believe Hiei's got some stuff too, but I think Sasuke, I'm gonna stick.
Standing less than 5 feet tall, this black-clad goth child may not seem so intimidating at first glance.
Yeah, I mean, paint a red stripe on him and he's just a human Shadow the Hedgehog.
But in reality, Hiei is a menacing warrior of demonic heritage, born to a forbidden love between an ice woman and a fire monster.
Reminds me of me and my ex. Well, too bad the rest of the ice ladies got pissed that she had banged a literally hot dude, so when her son was born, they chucked the little bastard right off their floating island. Damn, ladies, I know you're jealous, but you don't gotta take it out on the kid. That's my stepfather's job.
And yet, the child survived. Raised by thieves and remembering every last moment of the catastrophe of his birth, Hiei swore revenge.
And having bandits for foster parents means he got into stealing and murder at a wonderfully young age.
With his otherworldly physique, Hiei quickly became an expert in athletic ability and swordsmanship. These skills would grow even further after he joined forces with his rival, the spirit detective Yusuke.
But he needed more than blades and brawn to get back at the ice bitches. So he went to Shigure, the Doctor of Darkness, who would implant a magical third eye into his forehead. 'Cause we still ain't done with these eyeball shenanigans again.
This was the Jagan, literally translating to evil eye. With the Jagan, Hiei wields numerous mystical powers. He can spy on people and objects from 10 kilometers away. He can read minds and protect his own from powerful mental attacks. He can move objects and energy with telekinesis.
And that's just the start of his powers. But with the Jagan stuck in his face, Hiei finally made the trip to Ice Town. But wasn't quite what he expected.
Right, instead of slaughtering the demon women as he planned, he spared them, because he realized that they lived meaningless, cold lives.
You get it, 'cause they're ice people?
Is this pity? From a demon?
I mean, you might not want to invite this guy to your next backyard party, but he's not that bad of a guy. Case in point, he found out he's got a twin sister and set out on a new mission to find and protect her.
And with the Jagan Eye and his further abilities, he'd make one powerful bodyguard.
Yeah, by incinerating all your enemies! He can light his punches ablaze with his fist of the mortal flame, giving his foes a sick burn. But what's better than normal fire? Demon fire, of course! Dragon-shaped demon fire!
The darkness flame!
This is the Dragon of the Darkness Flame, an overwhelming entity of fire and pain that can obliterate foes in an instant.
It just
He's
killed
stronger than
all those
Amaterasu,
people. I
though.
feel a little bad, but they're demons,
Maybe.
so yeah.
The dragon burns
Maybe.
hotter than fire and is difficult to control. It
Hotter
can
than
even
fire,
turn
but
on its
hotter than the
wielder.
sun, you
Yet
said.
Hiei has recklessly forced himself to master the technique. with some, trial and error. Don't worry, he got better.
His demon elemental resistances certainly helped. He can power through most elemental attacks no problem, and is basically immune to fire and ice. And when he wants to get up close and personal, he can mold the darkness flame into a kick-ass sword.
He can even summon multiple dragons after assuming his ultimate form, the Giganchi.
Oh yeah, you thought one extra eye was creepy? How about a bunch of eyes all over? Which, to me, just seems like a lot of weak points.
Well, it's not. The Giganchi form greatly increases all of Hiei's abilities, not just the Darkness Flame. And to add even more layers to this, Hiei can also absorb the Dragon of the Darkness Flame himself, further increasing his strength and speed.
All of which lets him keep kicking ass and taking names around the demon world. His buddy Yusuke was quick enough to dodge lightning, but was not fast enough to see all of Hiei's sword swings when he slashed up this ice guy, Siryu.
How many times did you cut him? Only 16. And here I could only keep track of 7 or 8.
Therefore, Hiei was clearly attacking at speeds far faster than lightning. Around 300 times the speed of sound, and that was still very early in his journey when he was considered a C-class demon. As he ranked up, Hiei gained even more incredible speed.
His darkness sword could even cut and burn through Goro Momotaro, who evolved to be totally immune to, cutting and burning. So figure that one out.
By the end of his adventures, Hiei was ranked S-class level, making him many times faster than before and equal in power to his rival Yusuke.
And that means he's super powerful.
Right. Sensui, an S-class human, claimed he had to limit his power, as a mere 50% of it could create a worldwide earthquake. Yusuke's mentor, Genkai, even believed Yusuke could obliterate the entire planet.
But conveniently, the demon world is a lot bigger and tougher than Earth, so this crazy power level is tricky to prove. Either way, Hiei's basically on a league of his own.
As shown by Sensui, a typical S-class demon can defeat 3 A-class ones with minimal effort.
But Hiei took on 500 all by himself.
I unleashed 500 A-class demons.
Then you should know by now that when I say 500 A-class demons, I mean 1,000.
Damn, dude, shouldn't they call you, like, Ultimate S+ class or something by now?
Well, he's certainly comparable to Yusuke. When Yusuke fought the Demon King Yomi in the Demon World Tournament, the two of them hit each other so hard that this happened.
Holy shit, that's insane!
While this technically occurred on a tree in the hardier demon world, yes, that's a tree, we can calculate the curvature of the planet as seen here. The treetop appears to be well above cloud level, and we can use the circumference and the distance to this girl to determine the explosion's overall size. With all this in mind, we concluded the blast must have been at least 4.5 million meters high, nearly 15 million feet.
From just a punch! Well, I guess 2 punches technically, but Yusuke wasn't even in top form at the time, and he survived being in the middle of all that. Since Hiei can fight evenly with Yusuke and even move faster than him, I'd say they're definitely in the same ballpark of power level.
And just for kicks, Hiei can separate his spirit from his mortal body while still maintaining all of his abilities.
So, is he a demon or a ghost?
Both, I guess. He can do this anytime he wants, unlike normal people who need to be killed, or sometimes just knocked out.
You mean like this? Ah, ghost!
Anyway, Hiei kept his word and soon found his sister in need of aid. Despite his terrible upbringing, he's actually found a supportive family among friends.
Among us.
Except he never did tell her he was her brother, because he's just too emo for that.
Still, few can match the dangerous power Hiei commands.
Once your own doom has
Yeah, I was kind of annoyed with that.
I assure you there's no turning back.
I mentioned that. Okay, so yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Yu Yu Hakusho. I guess it's been a while since I've finished Naruto at this point as well, but it was even longer since I finished Yu Yu Hakusho, so that was a good refresher. Yeah, I mean, he is strong too. He has got, but I just think the Naruto stuff can get crazy, can get OP, and can get like just a bunch of tomfoolery. So I'm picking Sasuke for this one, and not really rooting for either. I guess just kind of watching. But I guess if I had to pick one to root for, I'd be
Hiei. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, let me tell you how to protect yourself from the ghost in the machine with ExpressVPN.
Oh, I was gonna say NordVPN.
These days, having a VPN
Maybe that's the
is
sign I don't have this
essential,
one
and
right.
trust me,
Because I got the
What's a
Blue
VPN?
Apron one.
It's like having a virtual bodyguard for your internet.
Wait.
You, where are you going?
That's not your...
I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for that Sasuke voice.
business.
Turn back.
Oh.
Fist of the mortal flame.
Oh.
I'll end this quickly.
Ooh. There you go, there's. Oh. Chidori! Already gone already. Ooh. Ooh.
No match.
He got him in Genjutsu. Yeah.
How interesting.
Jiganai.
What? How?
That Jiganai can break the Genjutsu.
I'm the power fire dash incarnate.
Dragon of the darkness flame.
Oh, Susuno. See, bruh, Sasuke just has so much. Like the arsenal with the Sharingan alone.
Dragon?
Ooh. They really want to get crazy. Sasuke could use the Isanage too.
I'll put you to rest now.
Oh, Hiei looks more damaged. Oh, maybe not.
That's more like it.
Really?
For a demon.
Okay, I was wrong about that one too. Alright, dang. Did Sasuke even use Amaterasu? Interesting. I was sleeping on Hiei.
Wait, really? I thought this was an easy win for Sasuke. What happened?
Low-key, me
hold
too.
on.
Not
I promise
easy,
there's
but...
a good explanation. This was an extremely close match. Sasuke was certainly faster than Hiei given his light speed reactions through scaling to Naruto. And technically he went through superior training, so there's certainly a few versions of this fight where he could use those advantages to take the win.
But we're always looking for who has the best chances to win most often, not just in very specific situations.
Exactly. At first glance, it's easy to assume Sasuke's enormous and varied arsenal could have simply overwhelmed Hiei. But to our surprise, Hiei had perfect counters for almost everything Sasuke could throw at him. Being a fire and ice demon hybrid with elemental resistances, he's powered through electrical attacks like the Chidori before, and his fire immunity and oneness with the darkness flame turned the devastating Amaterasu into a mere annoyance.
Sasuke's Rinnegan gave him gravity control, and that Sharingan Genjutsu was pretty brutal, but Hiei's Jagan gave him telekinesis.
Can we stop using Boruto clips? But Sasuke is mainly from Naruto Shippuden at his strongest. Please.
And mental protections, putting the brakes on Sasuke's eye shenanigans. Even if Sasuke tried using human path on him to rip out his soul, it wouldn't have mattered, because Hiei could keep fighting as a ghost!
And frankly, it's unlikely Sasuke was that much faster. While Hiei could outpace Lightning at C-Class, the difference between Spirit classes is far greater than a simple 100 or 200% increase. After all, a lower S-Class could beat 3 A-Class fighters without much effort, and Hiei is an upper S-Class. But most surprisingly, Hiei's level of power surpassed Sasuke's.
No friggin' way!
Let's look at the Susanoo's meteor feat. By measuring the meteor's size compared to the Susanoo and applying sheer force, we determined this feat equaled about 364 teratons of TNT at most.
In scientific terms, that's a hell of a lot. And obviously scaling to Naruto means he could take a hit worth 27 exatons. How could Hiei top that?
Well, recall how there were multiple claims that S-Class demons could obliterate the Earth. Since most fights took place in the demon world, which is much hardier than the human one, these claims were difficult to prove and seemed a little dubious.
Until Yusuke fought Yomi and they made that gigantic explosion.
As we determined earlier, that blast was at least 4.5 million meters tall. At minimum, the kinetic energy of an explosion like this would equal about 285 zetatons of TNT.
That's 21 zeros! Way more than Sasuke's meteor feat. Even if we half it, cause there's 2 people doing the punching, that's still over 5,000 times greater than the Naruto moon slice.
It's probably even more impressive than that. If the tree is actually closer to the clouds, and therefore closer to the planet, that technically changes the shot's perspective, which would mean the tree is actually even wider, the explosion even larger, and thus the kinetic energy even greater.
So when Genkai said an S-Class demon like Yusuke or Hiei could wipe out a planet, she wasn't kidding around.
Correct. While Sasuke is equal to beings powerful enough to slice and shift moons, he still could not match Hiei's strength. Even if Hiei was only half as strong as Yusuke, this would still put him well above Sasuke in terms of sheer power output and durability.
So while Sasuke was still faster, he had a real tough time trying to land a fatal blow.
There were a lot of factors in this fight, and Sasuke certainly clinched several advantages of his own. But in the end, Hiei's impeccable abilities, perfect counters, and clearly superior power took the victory.
Sasuke lost the edge and was a Sharinganer.
The winner is Hiei.
Alright, I wasn't expecting that one, honestly. I was fairly confident in Sasuke. I feel like if it was written by Naruto, they'd have some sort of Sharingan power. If that came out, that just seems to be what happens. There's a little bit more dislikes on this one than some of the other ones. Maybe some people aren't happy with that. I'm not necessarily not happy with it per se. I'm still not entirely sure if Sasuke doesn't win that. But they did admit it was close. At very least, it is pretty close. But I mean, like I said, if I had to pick one, I'd kind of like Hiei better. So shout out to Hiei for that one. That was, I guess, a better matchup than I thought. I mean, they both have like eye things going on. Both rivals to the main characters of the series, edgelords as well. So Sasuke was low-key like the villain of Naruto, and Hiei was like the villain for like an episode or 2 at best. Also, just a FYI, there's one I think I mentioned last time, maybe, I don't know, but there's a Naruto and Ichigo one. I think I did mention this already before. Maybe the last time I even recorded, I'm not sure. But just to reiterate that, unfortunately, I won't be able to watch that for a bit. I had a friend of mine who is caught up with Bleach fully, like, manga-wise, and has been for a while. Check that, and yeah, it still has, it's not quite spoiler-free yet on the Bleach front. And the way they be using the way they use Boruto clips of that, it's probably not even spoiler free for Boruto. So I still don't know if that moon thing happens in Boruto or if that was in the last. I remember there was something that go on with the moon. So I forget. I don't know. But if I don't know, then I guess I'm not spoiled, right? All right, this next one is a very interesting one because, of course, pretty sure one character was inspired by the other character. And I have seen it's anime versus anime-esque kind of thing. Sometimes gets brought up on the table of anime, but isn't really anime. But some people get. I really don't care. But this one we got Zuko versus Shotaro. We got Zuko versus Shoto Todoroki. And yeah, I have seen all of My Hero Academia. What is out right now? I've seen up to season 7. And then we got the final season coming out in a few months. I'm not caught up with the manga, but this is, like I said, the All Might one. This is 4 years old. I don't even think the material that, I don't think the material that, like, you know, for the ending was even out at this point. So I'm good on that front. And then Zuko, I actually have seen all of Avatar The Last Airbender. I don't expect anyone to know this, but I did start a Avatar The Last Airbender reaction series on my channel. I got to like episode 12 and kind of went on like a indefinite hiatus, like I did with a lot of series, unfortunately. However, I recently, like about last year, I started watching it again, recording it, and I have seen all of Avatar The Last Airbender. And I will get up those reactions at some point. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do that. Not sure when I'm gonna start that, but maybe soonish. We'll see. But the main thing is this should not be spoilers. I haven't seen anything about what's the sequel to this, Korra. I haven't seen anything about that. I don't know. They love to use Boruto for the Naruto thing. So, and maybe they'll use some of that. I don't know. Hopefully not. Yeah, it would be nice if they had like a little bit of like a spoiler warning. Like I know, like probably My Hero and the Avatar, but like, you know, how far in depth do they go? Like, it would be a little bit nice because sometimes I don't know. I had to get a lot of these checked, honestly. That's why I'm scared to watch some of these, but not all of them, man. So far, I've been lucky so far. So yeah, let's see Zuko versus Todoroki. I actually don't know who I'm rooting for. I love both of these characters, especially Zuko towards the end, you know. And then Todoroki. I think I might like Zuko a little bit more, just a little bit. He has more like character to him, more depth. Todoroki was for just a little bit, like an edgelord ass, but he went back to the edgelordness, but he didn't. He lost the assholiness. I think like mid-season 2 when he fought Deku, but I'm gonna let them get their information. But I think early prediction, I'm gonna go with Shoto, just because 2 + 2 math, fire and ice, I think is gonna be better than fire. Though the firebending had the lightning, I believe. Zuko never used it, but I don't know if he used it in Korra. I don't think they're gonna get too much into Korra because I had this one checked and there's Gaara versus Toph. I was told I can't watch that one yet. I think they go too much into Korra for that one because I've seen all of Naruto Shippuden. I don't think the spoilers would be in Gaara's territory. So this one should be good. I don't know. I'm going for it though. I just realized I've been talking over a Miller Lite picture. I think this is the first time they were sponsored by Miller Lite. That's funny. Just you don't expect a YouTube thing to be sponsored by beer. First, I have to take a piss. Speaking of beer, I'm kidding. I don't drink them.
With all those cool anime heroes out there, there's bound to be plenty with angsty daddy issues.
You mean like you?
Don't be silly, Wiz. I'm not an anime character. Like Prince Zuko, the firebending hunter of the Avatar, The Last Airbender.
And Shoto Todoroki, the prodigal son of Fire and Ice from My Hero Academia.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Water,
Right.
Earth, Fire,
Air.
The 4 elemental nations once coexisted peacefully. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah, the cranky old Fire Lord went and conquered basically the whole world.
And 100 years later, the equally powerful Master of Fire Ozai continued that tyranny. Many believed his rule would one day pass to either his daughter Azula or his son Zuko.
Yeah, Fire Dad was way too ego crazy for that. He drove Azula mad, even though he did clearly favor her. Poor little Zuko got screwed over from the beginning.
Can you imagine your dad saying that while your sister was born lucky, you were just lucky to be born?
I can't imagine my dad saying anything to me.
Oh. Right. Well, despite this, Zuko was desperate to prove himself. What a fine work ethic.
But he screwed up by talking out of turn in a big boy meeting. So naturally, his dad took him aside, sat him down, and taught him the importance of respecting others. Oh wait, just kidding. He burned his frickin' face off. Holy shit!
With his new scar came a new mission. Zuko would hunt down the elusive Avatar, the one threat to his nation's rule, to prove himself to his father and regain his honor.
Which is just a nice way of saying he was banished so he could never come back. Just like my dad didn't.
Though, frankly, Zuko did have the talent and training he needed to capture someone even as powerful as the Avatar.
Damn right, he's a fighting pro. The dude's strong enough to shatter metal chains with a kick. He's super skilled with martial arts, dual swords, and, oh yeah, firebending.
As a firebender, Zuko harnesses the light of the sun to summon flames from thin air. Wherever fire remains a light in an area that's not too cold, he can manipulate or bend it to his will.
I mean, if I had to pick between swirling water around, tossing a few rocks, or farting hot air all the time, I would definitely go with firebending. It literally means you're a living flamethrower.
Plus, it's surprisingly versatile. Aside from simply creating, launching, and moving flames, firebending can be used to heat objects, melt through ice prisons, and even defy gravity.
Is that guy flying? With fire? Awesome! How does that even work?
Well, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Newton's third law. By creating a rapid series of explosions an inch or so away from the palm, the air in between the hand and fire is launched toward the user, thereby creating propulsion.
Yeah, firebending isn't just about creating fire. It's about creating a bunch of it. So Zuko can make large, long-lasting walls of flame to protect himself and keep enemies at a distance. That stuff's hot, you know.
Yeah, it's fire. You know, I've actually rigged up my arm to replicate the technique of firebending. Dummy, if you'd please.
Another test. How thrilling.
Now, this isn't as simple as just pointing and shooting. Firebenders fuel their flames with their own breath. And using it at all requires a fierce understanding of martial arts.
What are you trying to do, the Macarena?
Zuko's favorite form, the dancing dragon, draws primarily from northern Shaolin Kung Fu.
That's a Chinese martial art that's all about agility, wide stances, and aggressive attacks. A perfect mix of speed and strength.
Like this.
Whoa! Wiz, why?
Anyway, the fire that benders like Zuko can generate is extremely hot, capable of melting through a cast iron door hot. This would need to be over 1200 degrees Celsius.
Dang.
And while Sozin's comet was boosting his powers, Zuko's uncle Iroh blasted apart the giant outer wall of Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se until Iroh comes a-knockin'. I mean, that's like the thickest wall I've ever seen. Second only to the emotional walls between me and my dad.
Even without Sozin's comet, which only appears once every 100 years, Zuko has more than enough firepower to level a building. That's no laughing matter for any person or building.
He's even quick enough to catch lightning and use his fire powers to redirect it wherever he wants it to go. Kapow! Suck it, Dad!
Steve.
Oh shoot, wait, did he just shoot his dad with lightning?
Zuko's quest for the Avatar led him down a different path than he expected. Inspired by his kind uncle and the Avatar himself, he joined the heroes on a new journey. One of self-discovery.
Yeah, turns out he didn't need his dad's approval after all. He just needed to approve himself. Now that's character development.
Zuko's definitely had a heated redemption arc, and now that he's the Fire Daddy, Fire Lord, his honor keeps burning brighter.
Are you crushing on Zuko?
What? No.
Fire
No.
Daddy's crazy.
Yeah, you are. It's okay, Wiz. Everybody does.
Hello, Zuko here.
All right, so yeah, definitely, you know, a worthy opponent. I'm interested to see what version of Todoroki we're gonna get, because I know it depends. I still think the ice element to him maybe a little much. Todoroki can maybe do some fire stuff as well. In the newest season, though, like the kind of moves he was doing, I don't think that he's quite there yet in this. So, I think we're getting Zuko at his peak. So it may be a little bit leaning towards Zuko. Let's just see what they say about Todoroki. Let's
Welcome
see
to
if
a
I feel
world
like
where the
switching
supernatural
them.
is natural, where more than 80% of the population possesses superhuman abilities known as quirks.
And because everyone loves to game a system, there's a superhero leaderboard. At the very top of it stands the ultimate hero, All Might.
All Might's feats and reputation were incredible, a true symbol of peace for everyone. That is, everyone except the hero perpetually stuck at rank number 2.
That's Endeavor, and he vowed to surpass All Might, but his literal firepower was just never enough.
But if he couldn't do it himself, he would vicariously through his own heir. Thus, he made the desperate decision to arrange a quirk marriage.
Basically, he paid a family off to get a wife with an ice quirk and popped out kids until he got the right quirk combo. Gross. Feel like I need a shower.
After 4 attempts, they finally spawned the child he was looking for, Shoto Todoroki.
Half cold, half hot. Literally, right side's ice like his mom, and left side's fire like his dad.
Endeavor quickly separated young Todoroki from his supposedly lesser siblings, ruthlessly training him to become the most powerful hero in history.
Surprise! Things didn't go so well. He drove Shoto's mom totally insane until she broke.
Pouring boiling water on her son's left side, because it reminded her too much of him.
Okay, this is getting super heavy for a colorful cartoon about superpowers and frog people.
Fortunately, Todoroki never truly fell for his father's disgusting manipulation. He attended UA High School, a hero academy, and worked to use his power for good.
But just his mom's power. Why use fire when you can stick it to the man? The man being a big scary fire dad over there. Anyone else notice his facial hair is made of fire? How does that work?
From his right side, Todoroki can summon intense bouts of cold, freezing the air or even creating massive glaciers of ice.
Talk about overkill! And like a good edgy teen, Shoto named this super iceberg something badass. Heaven-piercing ice wall! Oh, you can just taste the self-loathing.
He can create sheets of ice to slide on or propel himself forward as if riding a Heeley. While he can't manipulate the ice after he's launched it, he has extremely precise control over its initial release. He can even freeze opponents so thoroughly that they are frozen both inside and out, effortlessly causing necrosis and shattering body parts.
Seriously, that's so dark. It's chilling. Talk about having a cold shoulder.
But Todoroki has a problem. While he is highly resistant to cold, he's not immune.
Here I am. Guess I'll die.
Oh, I won't be needing you this time, dummy.
Genuine joy.
Casting too much ice from his right side will cause his body temperature to drop until he falls unconscious, potentially even suffering frostbite.
I mean, it takes freezing an entire building before side effects even start to show up, so it's not all. Why'd you even make the stupid robot?
That's why Endeavor chose to mix ice with fire. See, he had the same problem with his own fire quirk, but with cold and hot combined, they could counter each other's weaknesses.
Thankfully, Shoto made a friend who helped show him that his fire wasn't his father's, it was his own. You tell him, Deku! Finally, the full power of Icy Hot was unleashed! And you think you can help my back? Just hurts carrying the show!
While he's much less proficient with fire, given his lack of experience with it, this half of his quirk is identical to Endeavor's. His fire is hot enough to melt Tetsu Tetsu, whose body can turn to steel, which means it can reach temperatures over 1600 degrees.
He can blast fire like a raging inferno, form walls of flame to block off areas, and use his evil dad's signature technique, Flash Fire!
Flash Fire is a method of compressing flame under super hot temperatures before releasing it in a single strike. Endeavor can also shape his fire, use it to cling to walls, and fly.
But even if he is a huge dick, Endeavor was kinda right. Fire and ice combined put both quirks at their best. Shoto's one of the best in his class, taking hits from a tank like Deku, fighting top-tier foes like Stain, and keeping up with classmates like Bakugo and Tokoyami, who can block Kaminari's electricity.
And while he's often criticized for relying too much on his quirk, Todoroki is incredibly smart and a quick thinker, reading and setting traps for his opponents in the blink of an eye.
And after all that craziness, he finally patched things up with his mom, and somehow even inspired his dad to try and be a better person. What a nice story. I wish he could inspire my dad too. Not Mama, though. She's already perfect.
Well on his way to becoming a successful hero, Shoto Todoroki no longer fights in spite of his father, but for himself and the sake of others.
I wanted to. I'll be a hero.
So, okay, so yeah, at this time, I think I saw the ending clip of season 4, I believe. So that's all that was out, and then the Tetsu stuff in the manga, I believe, is season 5. So, all right, yeah, this is a good one. Definitely, I mean, literally, they both got the scar. They both had abusive fathers, and they both use fire. But Todoroki also uses ice, and I think that's gonna give him the edge. I think he wins this one. Zuko, I love Zuko. This is gonna be an interesting one, but I'm gonna pick Todoroki for the win.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
A villain? You'll pay for that.
No, wait. I'm not the bad guy here. I mean, not anymore.
Your actions say otherwise! Fire, like my father. I'll prove I'm better than both of you!
What's the matter? Melting under pressure? He's just
like me.
For real, he's just like me. Oh. Oh no, the cabbages!
Oh, my cabbages!
No!
I never intended to finish you with fire. You could obviously block it, but not this. It's over.
Oh, he's burning out of it. Ooh. Oh no.
I don't care how much power you have. I know who I am. I will win!
Oh no.
Then I'll have to go beyond.
Plus Ultra. Oh. Oh.
I am the Fire Lord. I will win this for my honor!
Oh no! Oh! 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 Yeah, I think that is it.
Apologies.
Yeah, the ice was just too much. Todoroki does win that. I figured that was a good one though, and I'm pretty sure that was the voices. I can't tell if some of these if they just get like sound bits. It's kind of sound bits from the actual show, or if they actually maybe get some lines from some people here. I'm not sure, but that was a pretty sick one. You can't beat Beyond plus Ultra sometimes.
Holy hell, that was epic. Please, I'm grieving here. Both Todoroki and Zuko held solid advantages over the others.
R.I.P.
Zuko's martial arts,
Zuko.
athleticism, and
Yeah,
lightning
Zuko
fast
is
reflexes
goated.
meant that if he could get close to Todoroki, he could likely end the fight pretty quick.
But Shoto's no slouch. The guy may be better at long range, but he's been in scraps before. Like with the super fast, super deadly hero killer Stain. And with all that ice popping up everywhere and his own super sliding and boosting skills, Shoto made it hard for Zuko to get close for long.
Plus, the speed difference wasn't all that drastic. Todoroki's fellow student Tokoyami's Dark Shadow blocked Kaminari's electricity after it had been fired. Quirks are not magic, and there are very few ways for electricity to travel through the air. Lightning is essentially an ionized path that electricity travels through. Kaminari's quirk must use the same method.
Dark Shadow blocked Kaminari, Bakugo dodged Dark Shadow, and Todoroki can match Bakugo in a fight. Bada bing, bada boom, that's lightning fast reflexes, baby.
While Zuko certainly had more control over fire, Todoroki could easily repel his firebending with his own flames, not to mention the clear difference in temperature. Zuko may be skilled with fire, but he's not immune to it, nor did he have any reliable counter for fast and massive ice attacks.
We don't even need to bust out the calculator for this one, Wiz. That stadium is circled by a 4-kilometer track.
If it was fire v fire, I would
The
say
ice wall
Zuko.
covered almost half of it in less than a second. Zuko didn't have that kind of power spread.
Yes, I know fire melts ice, but not instantly when it comes to gigantic glaciers. Plus, firebending becomes much more difficult in cold temperatures. Sure, Zuko's melted through ice prisons before, but only ones where he could still move or at least breathe. Remember, firebending requires breath and movement. When Azula was trapped in an ice prison so compact she couldn't move or breathe, she was helpless.
But like, Shoto could just freeze
is
over
true.
Zuko's insides anyway. No way he was surviving that.
Zuko might have been an admirable bender and adorable fan favorite, but Todoroki's overwhelming ice, versatile defense, and incredible power were just too much to handle.
Zuko aimed for success, but his opponent Shoto put him on ice.
The winner is Shoto Todoroki.
Yeah, as much as I like Zuko, I have to agree with that. You know, two powers are just better than one. Just the kind of simple math right there. Alrighty, so it looks like I have two more to watch today. I know it's been a while, but two more video. I do have like one other death battle thing kind of come up. I know I had the go up before. It's the Kamina and or not. Jeez, Kami. The Simon and the Kyle fight before this. So yeah, definitely not my end of death battle, but this big video is coming to an end. This next one here, second last one, we have another fighting game one, more Mortal Kombat, but this time it's going up against Pokemon. We have Goro versus Machamp. And like I mentioned a few times, the third time Mortal Kombat is in this video. I like Mortal Kombat, but Goro wasn't one of my favorite people. I remember his fatalities being crazy, but yeah, I do like Pokemon. Machamp, a cool Pokemon. I don't know if it's one of my favorite Pokemon, but a good one as well. So I don't know. I think I might have to lean towards Machamp to root for. Who's gonna win this one? I'm gonna say Goro, I think, for right now. We'll see what the information does.
Thanks to Miller Lite for sponsoring this episode of Death Battle.
As the original light beer, Miller Lite has always been there to bring people together.
Bruce Lee once said, "I don't believe in different ways of fighting. We all have 2 arms and 2 legs, so that is why I believe there should be only one way of fighting."
Clearly, he never met these 4-armed fighters with 4 forearms.
Goro, the half-dragon prince of Mortal Kombat.
And Machamp, the fighting-type Pokemon from the Kanto region. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Mortal Kombat! A fighting tournament as killer as its iconic theme song. With a reputation like that, you better believe the first boss in the game would be a champion who's won 9 times in a row. He won't just kick your ass, he'll rip your arms off too.
This is Goro, prince of the Shokan people and one of their strongest warriors. He's 8 feet 2 inches tall, weighs 550 pounds, and clocks in at 2,000 years old with no signs of slowing down.
He's been through a hell of a lot during his run, but here are the highlights. He fought in a civil war, crushed some $500 sunglasses, and oh yeah, he's a half-humanoid, half-dragon person. Who would be stupid enough to fight a half-dragon with 4 arms?
Not many. Most of the Mortal Kombat roster refuses to fight Goro because they're terrified of losing to him and getting torn in two.
After living for as long as he has, you better believe he's picked up some skills. He's got 500 years of experience in Mortal Kombat tournaments and has mastered a ton of different fighting styles.
He's obviously familiar with the Shokan style, which uses his extra appendages to lethal effect. He's also a master of an adapted version of the Kuotan style, which is much more elaborate and relies on the strengths of a more traditional humanoid body.
Like kicks and stuff.
Right.
On top of that, Goro's got a ton of fun tricks up his 4 sleeves, like fireballs, dragon breath, high-flying stomps, quadruple grabs, and his favorite, crushing skulls. But if those don't work, he's got bladed weapons called dragon fangs. They're like Shredder's claws, but there's 4 of them, 1 for each hand. Oh my god.
Are you okay, Boomstick?
Well, is it weird that Goro kinda reminds me of the guy that my ex-wife ran off with?
What, because he's so buff?
Yeah, but mostly the 4 arms. I mean, how am I supposed to keep up with that? He's got 2 more hands than me.
Huh. Sorry.
Bruh.
Anyway, with all those tournament titles, it's pretty clear Goro stands above most other Mortal Kombat combatants, with a K. Characters like Cabal, Johnny Cage, or even Kotal Khan, who once destroyed this ship, which is clearly inspired by Spanish conquistadors. Based on historical references to similar ships, the power needed to destroy one like this would require over 3 billion joules of energy.
We also saw Raiden destroy this temple with almost 270 tons of TNT, which is a lot. On top of that, Cabal can move fast enough to parry machine gun fire. To pull that off, you'd have to be moving almost 3 times as fast as sound.
Goro's not the only impressive Shokan. The tiger-striped Kintaro survived this massive explosion. Using the average height for a Shokan and comparing it to the blast radius, we can posit that this explosion yielded a force equivalent to over 25 tons of TNT.
The Shokan are a tough people, that's for sure, and super proud. After a disappointing loss to the Shaolin monk Liu Kang, Goro was unable to secure a 10th MK title in a row. And while it seriously hurt his warrior pride, he didn't stop beating the shit out of people.
Not only did he eventually try to win that title again, but he also fought in multiple wars, including one with the similarly powerful Centurions.
But he never stayed in one place for too long, like when he pissed off Kotal Khan and got his arms ripped off.
But even without his primary weapons at his side, Goro would not give up. He even managed to defeat the ninja Kenshi.
Without any freaking arms! God damn! Also, a limbless guy versus a blind guy? Throw Professor X in there and you have yourself the ultimate, and definitely most offensive, crippled threat match. Oh boy, I've got one leg!
Cripple fight! I just watched that episode a few days ago, or not, a few uploads ago.
Goro always has the make of a champion. His determination and will to fight is only matched by his strength, power, and, frankly, bloodlust. Even with his failures, he truly is the greatest of the Shokan.
I will give you a warrior's
Round 1.
fight!
Oh yeah, Goro is pretty tough, you know. I know deep Pokemon lore and information, like in like they just hide in this description sometimes. Like, what? This Pokemon can do what? And they're a little bit crazier than what the game suggests. But yeah, unless there's something like that, I think Goro might have this one.
The superpower Pokemon Machamp is a fighting type that originated in the Kanto region. They begin their lives as the youthful Machamp, which train tirelessly to learn and eventually master every form of martial arts.
It's a lethal combo of adorable and kick-ass. And they're jacked.
The Machamp possesses muscles more dense than humans that allow them to train for long periods of time without fatigue. Eventually, the young Machamp will reach a new level, leaving behind the days of its youth and evolving into a Machoke.
The Machoke is strong enough to lift dump trucks with ease, and once he's moved on from the teenage days of angst and rebellion, Machoke evolves into the rock spirit Pokemon, Machamp. This four-armed fighter stands 5 feet tall and weighs an average of 280 pounds.
Even after realizing its final evolution, most Machamps continue to train and pursue peak levels of physical fitness.
When they're not firing off sets at the gym, they're most likely helping humans as movers, construction workers, and bodyguards. Or, they're just beating other Pokemon senseless in the dogfighting ring that is the Pokemon world.
Questionable pet and owner relationships aside, Machamp seems to simply enjoy helping people, whether in the Pokemon arena or in the outside world.
And Machamps are well equipped for both. They have a ton of great moves like Bulk Up, which increases physical power, Knock Off, which can knock anything off of an opponent's hands, and Seismic Toss. Whoa, holy shit! Did he just launch that rat into orbit?
Fighting-type Pokemon like Machamp make for fearsome predators against normal, ice, rock, and dark types. Even Steel-type Pokemon turn brittle under Machamp's brute strength. On the other end of the spectrum, Machamp can fall prey to agile flying Pokemon, cerebral psychic types, and mystical fairies.
Man, Pokemon's f***ing weird.
However, the Machamp can always fall back on their natural abilities, the most common of which is named Guts. Whenever a Machamp is burned, poisoned, or paralyzed, its adrenaline spikes, increasing its physical power.
Including his physical moves, which is like all of them. According to the Pokedex, Machamp can punch 1,000 times in 2 seconds and can move mountains with one hand.
Now, the Pokedex isn't always the most reliable source. However, we have seen proof of Machamp's 1,000 punches in Pokken tournaments. To do this in 2 seconds, Machamp must be punching at speeds faster than sound.
Damn, if having 2 extra arms is like shooting fish in a barrel, then this is like baking perfectly good cookie dough. It's like totally unnecessary.
In order to move a mountain, Machamp would need to exert anywhere from 8 to 30 kilotons of TNT. And pulling off their signature move, Seismic Toss, would require even more energy. Considering an average weight of 200 kilograms for any given Pokemon, and the speed at which they travel when thrown, a typical Machamp's throwing power would need to be equivalent to over 130 kilotons of TNT.
Machamps can also take a lot of damage. They live and fight together after all.
As we can see, Machamps and Machokes in particular are raised in herds of their own kind. It's natural that they would fight all the time, exhausting an insane amount of power on each other. And, according to some people, they look great while doing it. There's even a fan club of people who find themselves unexplainably attracted to them. This is real.
Probably run by my ex-wife. I didn't even make it halfway through the reception. I guess my signature move is signing divorce papers.
The Machamp is so strong, the species have become a favorite amongst gym leaders,
Among
such as
Us.
Giovanni and B.
Makes sense. They can go head-to-head with a ton of crazy strong pocket monsters.
The Machamp is an extremely tough Pokemon that rounds out any roster. After all, they literally live to fight.
Live the fight. Alright, little bit, it depends on how, serious they take that move in the mounting thing. Now, they did note that the Pokédex isn't always reliable, but that punching thing was I think this might be a decent fight. However, I'm sticking with Goro. I think Goro, he just, I don't know, I know we're talking about, realistically, a kid's game. Not that, I love Pokemon. Not that all ages can't do. I'm just saying, but the target audience is a kid's game character. versus one of the most rated M of all rated M. If there was any game to be rated M, it was Mortal Kombat. We had like ripping off limbs. Like you saw, he shoved someone's head into their stomach, ripped off their stomach to reveal their head, and that was one of his fatalities. He rips all 4 limbs off, like his own limbs get ripped off. Like Mortal Kombat's a very violent, gory, and bloody game. So maybe that's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, in my mind, he seems stronger. But regardless of that, even I think from what I just heard, I think unless they take like a lot of like the mountain stuff and that kind of Pokédex lore into account, maybe they'll give it to Machamp. But I think Goro has this one. So I'm gonna say.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
All right. Machamp.
What? You're no Shokan. Be gone from my lair. Machamp! Disgusting. A pathetic runt like you wastes our dragon blood.
Oh yeah, he's got the blades too. What's that scream? Oh. Yeah. Oh. Goro might be waking up a little bit, but I think he's sleeping on him.
Like a warrior. Machamp! Stop saying that! You're no champ! I am the champion of Mortal Kombat!
Oh, he's not done yet. Yo, this one is fire, man. They're just straight up, they're just throwing hands, literally. 4 of them. Each. He ripped off, Goro was not letting that slide. Okay, he still got it though. Like maybe not after this. Dang.
KO!
Wow.
He forgot to say he's blasting off again.
Wow. Okay, Machamp. Goro, how are you gonna lose to a Pokemon, bruh? Mortal Kombat doesn't claim. Okay, that's crazy. That was actually fire.
Do it over! We gotta get that joke right at least once.
This was certainly a unique battle to experience.
While Machamp's resilience came in handy, Goro's fighting styles continued to put Machamp to the test again and again. Plus, Goro's huge! At 8 feet tall, Goro towers a full 3 feet over the average Machamp. Obviously, not including the Dynamax and Gigantamax forms found exclusively in the Galar region.
Also, while Machamp could punch at Mach 1 speeds, Goro could technically match Cabal, who would need to move at nearly Mach 3 to parry machine gun fire.
So as far as punching speed was concerned, it looks like Goro actually had the advantage.
Except it hardly mattered. Machamp's power output outdid Goro's and then some. Even scaling Goro to Kotal Khan's ship feat and comparing it to the seismic toss, Machamp is almost 170,000 times more powerful.
This karate duck man is on a whole other level. Plus, he had a ton of ways to counter everything Goro threw at him. Knockoff prevented Goro from using weapons, and Guts meant he could take Goro's fire breath and use it for himself.
The Dragon Fangs and Fire Breath hardly would make much of a difference considering how durable the Machamp species is. After all, their primary trait is learning how to fight, so they'd naturally be fighting each other quite frequently.
Ah, the majestic Machamp, roaming the fields of the Kanto region, gently seismic tossing each other into orbit. Just imagine walking past that on your Sunday stroll.
You were right. The Pokemon world is wild.
This grabby match turned bloody brawl was intense and made me realize that we're all strong and beautiful just the way we are. No matter how many arms you have or whose wife you stole.
Good for you. While Goro put up an excellent battle that would have made his people proud, he didn't have enough to overpower the superpower Pokemon.
Unfortunately, this foe was forced to forfeit his 4 fists. Fitting that his final fate would be so freaking gory.
The winner is
Machamp. He is the champ. That was what I wasn't expecting, but I'm okay with. Honestly, that was a much better fight than what I thought it was gonna be. I don't know why. It's not that you know, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like it just slightly worse, but hey, shout out to Machamp. That was pretty awesome. Like, that was genuinely a really entertaining watch. Fam, you have no idea the battle I just went through to get to get the footage that you just saw. Everything after the Tracer and Scout death battle was almost lost. I'll try to keep this brief because this is about to be like a 4-hour video, and I thank you guys for tuning in for this long. If you did, maybe you're skipping around. I don't know how people are gonna watch this, but if you noticed at the end there, just a bit ago, my cam kind of froze. That's because as I was recording that, my PC just completely froze. It started, I thought it was my mouse. I had this whole, I had at least 10-20 minutes trying to figure out like why my mouse isn't working. I had to dig out because I have a special mouse kind of thing, a Naruto mouse actually. It's a HyperX gaming kind of mouse, but I have a normal mouse that the PC came. I had to dig that out, try it. I'm like, why? It was still in the plastic. I had to open it. I was worried. I was like, what is this? Because I was unplugging stuff and it looked like my mic was still on, so I thought it was just the mouse. The mouse wasn't lit up. My keyboard was still lit up. There's still these the LED lights. But I didn't want to reset my computer because how I'm recording this through Streamlabs just because I don't know, that's just how I'm choosing to do this particular series thing, Death Battle. I knew it was gonna you not save or something, it was gonna be corrupted because my recording through this got interrupted before and it was corrupted. And I had to, my PC just wasn't working. I had to restart it and need an advanced thing, it said it didn't shut down correctly. I finally got it, and I looked, and it was corrupted. But the file, it was still 3 gigs, so I was like, okay. The footage is still there, so I had to find a site and repair it, and I tried to find a free one, because the one I ran into was trying to charge $35, which it would have been, not ideal, but I would have paid if need be. But thankfully I found a free method, and I got the footage that I thought I lost. So thank you, God. Like, literally, God is great, bro. This is like a 4-hour video. I was even supposed to, like, watch these, like, bloopers for some of them. I was sent some blooper things. This is like a 4. Maybe I'll do that another video, another time. I'll have to see, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank for you guys so much for watching and tuning in. If you did, like I keep saying, I definitely can't watch every single death battle do for like things I've seen and like what's like could be like spoilers for me or things that like I just don't really get. But I will continue to watch the ones that I can and will. And I think there's some more Mario and Sonic or Nintendo and Sega stuff ones that I think I'm gonna watch eventually. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm glad to finally really be into Death Battle because I known about them for a while, but I never really watched till recently. I really watched. Like, this is the most Death Battle I've watched in a while. And sorry this video took a while to get to. It takes a while to record and edit together, and it just all around this when our video is so long, it also takes a lot of rendering time as well. So yeah, not that I'm complaining. It wasn't hard to do by any stretch of the imagination. Don't get that twisted, but I just had to try to explain why it may have been a little bit of a wait for since the last one. So yeah, until the next Death Battle extravaganza, feel free to recommend me death battles to watch. Like I said, I cannot promise them, but I can maybe at least check them out or have someone check them out for me, and then we'll see. So yeah, for now though, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe, it's always up to you. I will see you guys in the next video if you watch it from me. Goodbye.